Midmo Sports Online, bringing you the sights and sounds of sports in mid-Missouri, presents the Tobin's Towing Blair Oaks High School Football Game of the Week. The Game of the Week is brought to you by Tobin's Towing of Jefferson City. Need a tow? Call Tobin's at 573-690-6161. This game is also brought to you by Tim Van Ronslin, attorney at law, Chemna Collision Repair, Pizza House of Wardsville, Westphalia, St. Martin, and now Jefferson City. Ready Pop Gourmet Popcorn and Snacks. Farmer Companies. Big Whiskeys. Dwayne Springer with Mossy Oak Properties. And by Brighton Swearingen in England. The Green Button. George Gonzalez, your Edward Jones advisor in Jefferson City. Central Missouri Turf Management Incorporated. Verslois Construction. High school football and Midmo Sports Online is also brought to you by Cole County Eastern District Commissioner Jeff Helscher. A1 Party and Event Rental. Luke Sambodi Bobcat Services. The 109 Group. Kim Kliegel with J. Bloom Jewelry. Lisa Taylor, your Associated Real Estate Group Realtor. Skyline Exterior. And the law offices of Dotson and Waters. And now, Blair Oaks Falcons football on Midmo Sports Online. Last week at Eldon, it was no contest. The Blair Oaks Falcons scored 30 seconds into the game and kept on pushing. The offense keyed by the running of Hayden Lackman and what Coach Ted LePage said was a fired-up offensive line.
I'm talking the entire unit. It looked like all of them were wanting to change the line of scrimmage. And not only change the line of scrimmage, but drive your guy completely into oblivion. And that is something, when you start getting that on the offensive side of the ball with your old lineman, that's really contagious.
And the Falcons have it on 1st and 10. They hand off up the middle, and there goes Hayden Lackman into the end zone for the touchdown, Falcons. Tied in the middle, Hayden Lackman up the middle. Backs on 1st and goal from about the 2-yard line. Moves Lackman into the backfield with him, then hands off, and Hayden goes for the end zone, and he goes on in for the touchdown, Falcon. Hayden Lackman, 2 carries, 2 touchdowns. He's in from 2 yards out this time. So carrying it on into the end zone will be Hayden Lackman for the touchdown, Falcons.
Hayden Lackman from 1 yard out?
1 yard out. So Hayden Lackman goes into the end zone. And this is quickly getting out of hand. An I formation this time. They give the tail of the tandem, and it's Dapkus, and he goes in untouched for a touchdown, Falcons. Brady Dapkus. And the Falcons take a 34-0 lead. 2nd and 2 as they move Lackman into the backfield, and there goes Hayden up the middle. First down, out to the outside, 25-20, 15 to the 10, to the 5, touchdown, Falcons.
No flags.
Hayden Lackman takes it up the middle, busts it to the outside, and goes in from 33 yards out, and the Falcons are back on the scoreboard. Now with 4:23 to go in the second quarter, it's Blair Oaks 41 and Eldon nothing. They put Lackman in the backfield with backs under center. From the 1 yard line, they turn and hand to Hayden. He smashes up the middle and into the end zone for the touchdown, Falcons. 7:21 to go in the third quarter, and the Blair Oaks Falcons lead at 55-0. And when it was all over, the Falcons had rolled to a 63-0 rout in their 23rd win in a row over the Mustangs. Tonight, another test for the Falcons, the high-flying offense of the Hallsville Indians. The Indians put pressure on teams by throwing the football, repeatedly, like a lot, like every play. With 3-year starter Braden Matheny at quarterback and returning All-State wide receiver Isaac Stinson, the Indians don't care about running the football. But the Indians also start 3 freshmen and a sophomore on their offensive line, and against a Falcon defense that hasn't surrendered 100 yards of total offense to a conference team yet, it could be a dangerous night for the Indians' number 1 at quarterback. It could be the defensive line's night to shine on homecoming. I'm Dick Aldrich along with Ed Kniest, and we're live at the Falcon Athletic Complex in Wardsville. It's Hallsville and Blair Oaks. We'll be back to talk to Ted LePage next on the Tobin's Towing Blair Oaks Falcons Game of the Week on Midmo Sports Online. Big Whiskeys in Jefferson City. It's your game night headquarters. Come join the crowd at Jefferson City's premier gathering spot for sports, food, drinks, and fun. The city's best appetizers, wings, and happy hour. Throw in plenty of seating, HD TVs just about everywhere you look, a staff that's as passionate about good food and service as you are about your team, and game night at Big Whiskeys will have you victory dancing well into the weekend. Check them out at bigwhiskies.com. Midmo Sports Online, continuing coverage of high school football in mid-Missouri. Time now to talk to Ted LePage, the head football coach of the Blair Oaks Falcons. The Falcons are coming off a 63-0 victory over Eldon last week. They're getting ready to take on Hallsville in the homecoming game here at the Falcon Athletic Complex. And first of all, Coach, let's go back to last week. Another game in the conference, and you just dominated the ball game right from the start. 30 seconds in, you're up with a touchdown, and it just felt like you were just cooking with gas the entire time.
Well, I think our momentum carried over from the Southwest game. I really think our players are starting to hit that stride of the season where they can feel it and they can smell it a little bit. And I thought last week we executed very well. A lot of times you worry about a letdown or something. The way we've been practicing, I don't really worry about that. I worry more about where do we need to go next? What is the area where we're weak? We're looking for those things, and that's one thing our players, we watch film with them every day, and they're trying to pick up on stuff that can make them better, because I really go back to the Lutheran North loss. There were some little things we didn't do right, and they really have, as the seasons wore on, went back to that and all right, where can they beat this now? Where can we get beat? Where can this happen? And I thought Friday night was a classic example of that it was just everything we executed during practice came to fruition in the game, and our players continued to dominate.
Well, and the offense is clicking right along. Coach Hall tells me that he's beginning to run out of money for donuts for the defense for getting their shutouts. So I mean, this is like you said, it's a time of the year when things need to be starting to come together. Talk to me a little bit. There seemed last week, and I went back and watched some of the game from last week, and there seemed to be times last week where, Eldon is not a bad football team, but there were times last week when maybe the guy, the quarterback is just maybe one or two steps from going, but your guy is there to make the play.
Well, again, I think we go back and we look at the progression throughout the season, and our defense is based upon playing your role in the defense. And a lot of times last week, especially with the way they added the tight end into the complex and made an extra run gap, our linebackers or inside linebackers especially, were having to go a gap wider. So it looked like there might be space, but each person from the D tackle to the D end to the outside linebacker was feeling their gap. And then you see a linebacker or safety come shooting through a hole open, and it was like, where did he come from? And it's just it's magnificent to watch when it happens, because I'm the same way on the sideline. I'll be like, oh my gosh, here it goes, and all of a sudden, boom, down he goes with a roll tackle, and it's really fun to watch the progression as the seasons wore on, how our players trust each other. There's a lot of trust when you're playing defense, because you want to make a play. On defense, it's like, I want to run and get the ball. But if I don't stay in this particular gap and do this particular assignment, I'm not going to not only not make the play, somebody else isn't going to make the play, and it's going to end up in a big play. So I think the little things are starting to add up on our defense. That you can see that. The best thing I saw last week was our pass, our pass drops on our defense. They were a good throwing football team. He threw for over 300 yards in a game against it, and he had 2 completions on the night. And we had 2 interceptions. So I'll take that average all day long. I really think that again, our defense is starting to trust each other, and they're starting to communicate.
Offensively, we know the passing game has been good, and we've been able to get the ball outside. But the last couple weeks, really, the inside game, the offensive line is really pushing and really getting space along with Lackman to push the pile forward.
Well, Coach Cook has just done a tremendous job with it. We've added up. We've started 5 different combinations in the O-line this year, and I don't think people really realize that. Everybody thinks, oh, well, you're just. We have had 5 different combinations we have started, but you start with Carson Rustemeyer on our left tackle, and then Justin Ketty in left guard, Zach Bonnet our center. Come back over, and you got Caden Schulte at guard, and now Brendan Schaefer has stopped in at tackle. And last week was the first time that I really saw us have grit on the O-line, and it's been coming. I talked about it after Lutheran North, but I'm talking the entire unit. It looked like all of them were wanting to change the line of scrimmage. Not only change the line of scrimmage, but drive your guy completely into oblivion. And that is something, when you start getting that on the offensive side of the ball with your old linemen, That's really contagious. Defense, I always think is contagious, but that O-line, man, there's contagiousness in there of just being, and I won't say nasty. That's not a proper term, but I get my hands on you, I'm going to drive you, and I'm not going to stop until I hear the whistle. And that's that 6-second competitor, and I think he's did a really good job with that. And then Hayden is just really starting to feel himself. I think the week that he was injured really got to him, and not in a negative fashion, in a motivational fashion. He gets in there and he is just a terror between those tackles. You better wrap him up, because if you don't, he is going to let loose. And then, Tyler makes the correct reads, and then you got Brady sitting out there who can be the third part of the option at any point in time. We spin it out to him, and you better have somebody there. So I think people are starting, as you work into the season, you can really see what your identity is. People are identifying that they're a power running football team. We better stack the box. And at times they're putting 6-7 in the box. When you do that, now we're gonna spin it out on you. But if at the beginning of the game they left 5 in the box, and Coach Cook and I are like, okay, here we go. And that's when the O-line changed the line of scrimmage, and Hagen just goes up and does what he does in the middle.
Talk to me about Nolan Laughlin. It's just kind of mind-boggling to think 263 extra points, and you think back, and this is a kid, a 4-year starter, but I mean, this is a kid who's come along and just really is a key part of the ball club.
Well, let's go back even further. When I first came to Blair Oaks, they said we don't kick extra points here. We go for 2 every time. And Marcus Edler was a kicker, and we tried him out, and I said we play football. We're not doing this rogue stuff. This is a football, and if we're going to be a football power, you have to play football by football's rules, not by any other. So Marcus started it off, then we went with Zach Harrigan, and we progressed throughout the years, and we came into the freshman year when Nolan was here, and we really didn't have a legitimate kicker. And watching him kick, felt like he could kick extra points, and we started with him, and we're patient. There was some growing pains there, but as time wore on, he got better and better. His sophomore year got more consistent. After his sophomore year, Coach Hall had him set up with a kicking. I guess the guy that had kicked in college, and he learned some things there, and then he's just kind of progressed within his trade. But he's really, this year, has been spot on everything. His kickoffs are just phenomenal. So, the growth process of him has been fun to watch. But you also have to take into account that there's, a snapper, there's a holder, and there's a kicker, and they all take real pride in that. Every day when we leave the practice field or go on the practice field, Zach Bond is snapping, Jackson Engelbrecht is holding, and Nolan is kicking. So there's 3 guys that are really trying to help one guy put that through the uprights. But I think the biggest issue is in the offseason, our players said, we want to be 100% on extra points. Mm-hmm. And when we go 100% on extra points, it really becomes demoralizing the other team when they're going to line up, they're going to kick the extra point. It's 7. It's not 6. Mm-hmm. It's not 8. You're going to get 7 points every time. I think that's a real mindset changer. And then the way he can transition the ball into the end zone and make them start on the 20 really helps us. So Nolan's just done a terrific job, and we're real proud of him.
And you mentioned Jackson Engelbrecht, and I know during the Southwest game, he came up with some really great catches to get the snap down and get the snap to where Nolan could kick the football. Jackson's got some great hands.
He does, and that's an unnoticed talent. Not everybody can hold a football. It sounds really easy. I put the ball in T, hold it. That thing's got to be down, spun correctly, positioned correctly, and your fingers got to be out of the way, and that's got to be done in less than 1.2 seconds. Mm-hmm. So there's a lot of hand-eye coordination that goes into it. There's a lot of timing that comes from the center to put the ball back. So yeah, between Zach snapping it in a perfect spot, Jackson catching it and being able to spin it and put it on the tee correctly, and then Nolan kicking it, there's a lot more goes into it than just, oh wow, he kicked the ball through the uprights. There's a snap, there's a hold, there's a kick, and there's also protection.
Okay, let's talk about this Hallsville Ball Club. Braden Matheny, their quarterback, a 3-year starter now for them. Isaac Stinson, the wide receiver, who I think is 37 years old. He's been there forever, it seems like. That's the combination, and that's what they want to do. I talk about sometimes that passing game can be kind of a control type thing, but these guys, when Matheny goes back to pass, and when he throws it, as I say, with bad intent. He wants to get the ball down the field, and they want to get the ball down the field.
The whole identity of this football team, we're going to pass it, mm-hmm. and then we're going to pass it, and then we're going to pass it, and we're going to pass it. And you may think that's humorous. It's not. That's their identity. The past 2 football games, they've thrown the ball 60 times in each game. They're making no bones about it that we're going to come up and we're going to throw the ball. They also have number 18. They also have number 22. They've got some really nice skill players. The Stinson kid just stands off the film. When you have 80 catches through, what is this, 7, 8 football games, whatever we played to this point, 7 games, I guess. That's a lot of catches for a high school player in that amount of time. And they'll throw him a 1-yard pattern. They'll throw him a 5-yard pattern. They'll throw him a 12-yard pattern. They'll throw him a 25-yard pattern. They'll throw him across the field. They'll throw him in the corner of the end zone. It doesn't matter. These two have a great relationship. You can tell it. And the way they throw the football is, I'm going to throw it, you're going to catch it, and we're going to get yardage. And they have done that to everybody. It has been phenomenal to watch the film of their season. It's never really changed. It's been 1 catches it, he throws it to 5 does something with it.
Mm-hmm. Talk to me a little bit. Their offensive line is very young. I think they're starting 3 freshmen on their offensive line, a sophomore and then a senior. Talk to me about the way you have to attack a line like that.
Well, you got to be really careful because they're so good at the screen game. When they throw, and I go back to our rest in peace, Mike Leach. Mike Leach, most of his game was screen it. If you're going to come get after us, we're going to just screen you to death. So you got to be really careful with how you attack them. That being said, with their youth, they've had some adjustment issues. So we've got to try to use some of our experience that we have on our defensive line and on our linebackers, may be able to manipulate their eyes a little bit. But you don't see this guy get sacked much. He runs around. He's very athletic at the quarterback position. He wants to throw first, but he can run the football. So there's a danger there. But he also knows how to use his line and use his screens to his advantage. So once you make the decision that you're going to throw the ball 60 times a game, you've got a different part of your package that's called the screen game, and that's what they use for their advantage with the inexperience they have in the offensive line. And there are several times where the guys will come running through, they dump it, and now you got 5 guys running down the field with a back behind them. So you got to be careful how you choose to attack them.
Let's talk about their defense real quick. I was watching mostly the Southern Boone game from last week. I saw some 3, I saw some 5, I saw some 4. What do you think?
Well, they've been mostly a 30-front team. And when I say that, I say that in all honesty. They have 3 down linemen, but they're usually bringing 2 outside backers. And I would say, I think we're upwards of 90% where they're bringing their 2 outside backers. They're not going to let them sit back. They're going to try to come get you. I refer to this as like the get you defense. Mm-hmm. They're going to come try to get you because they're trying to get the ball back in the hands of their offense. They onside kick. I mean, they do everything to put the ball in the hands. Bringing 5 and 6 almost every snap. So from that perspective, you have to really talk to our players as the week wears on. We use the term famine, feast. And I started using that when I started running option a long time ago. They may get us a couple, but if we're consistent with it, famine, you're going to get a big one and it's going to hurt. So be patient. Don't get upset if they get a couple negative plays, because this is a defense that's going to come after you to get negative plays. You just have to be careful. And when you get an opportunity, you have to make the play, because otherwise they get you behind the sticks and they'll bring cats from everywhere.
Some of the keys, some other keys to the ball game Friday night.
I think one of the special teams. They onside kick every time they kick, and I do mean every time. They take in the same premise that Booneville did last year. So we got to dominate special teams. I think that's an area they almost refuse to punt. When they punt, it's out of the shotgun, so you don't really know if they're going to punt or not. On their kickoff return, they do some good things, and then they go for 2 every time. So special teams have got to be a dominant area for us. I think most of all, we need to come out and beat Blair Oaks. This is a time that I kind of remind them a little bit. We went up there a couple years ago, and this one kind of hurts. So I remind them quite often. This is a team that really hurt a bunch of people here, as far as these young men were freshmen. So we need to play a little emotion, a little edge tonight.
Ted LePage, the head football coach of the Blair Oaks Falcons. We'll be back with more after this timeout.
Bryden, Swearingen, and England, serving Jefferson City for almost 50 years, handling cases from the Missouri Supreme Court to the county courthouse. Known throughout the country as one of the top law firms in Missouri state capital, Bryden, Swearingen, and England is still a small-town law firm that has the people and the knowledge to help the area's small businesses and families in need. Our experienced attorneys can handle a wide spectrum of legal needs, from family and divorce law to estate planning to criminal matters to many aspects of state licensing and regulation. Bryden, Swearingen, and England. Contact them today at brydenlaw.com.
And good evening, everyone, and welcome back to the Falcon Athletic Complex here in Wardsville, Missouri for tonight's homecoming matchup between the Indians of Hallsville and the Blair Oaks Falcons. It's Friday night. I'm Ed Kniest, and it's time once again for Kniest Keys to the ball game. First up for the Blair Oaks Falcons, the Falcons defense needs to keep stepping up. Against Eldon last week, the Falcons defense allowed an average of only 1.2 yards per play by the Mustangs while registering their third shutout of the year in 4 conference games. The Falcons defensive line did a great job of putting pressure on Eldon quarterback Evan Beanland all night and limited him to only 8 yards rushing on the night while rendering the Mustangs passing game all but invisible with a total of 12 yards. Look for Blair Oaks to come out tonight fired up and keep playing that typically stingy Falcon defense. Second, expect the Falcons' running attack to be hard to handle. One of the big matchups tonight will be the running game of Blair Oaks against the defense of Hallsville. Last week, junior running back Hayden Lackman ran for 88 yards on 10 carries and 5 touchdowns versus Eldon. And junior running back Brady Dapkus chipped in with 69 yards on only 5 carries, while junior quarterback Tyler Bax gained 51 yards on just 6 carries. Hallsville has only 3 starters from last year returning on their defense, and they have struggled in 2024, as shown by their 2-5 record. The Indians are allowing 38.3 points per game this season and have given up 42 or more in 4 games. They've dropped their last 2 games by an average score of 50-22 after a 2-game winning streak. It'll be up to the Falcons offense, led by their rushers' fleet feet, to see that trend continue tonight. And finally, don't get caught looking ahead. We know Blair Oaks is closing in on another Tri-County Conference title, but there is still a ways to go before that becomes a reality. Head coach Ted LePage always likes to say that they look at going 1-0 each week and just focus on the game in front of them. That approach has worked well for the Falcons over the years, and too often, a team in Blair Oaks' position can get caught looking down the road and end up getting knocked off, especially in a homecoming game against a 2-5 opponent. Since the loss to Lutheran North in Week 2, the Falcons have been focused on improving each week, and tonight they'll look to be focused from the start of the game and take care of business. And we'll pause for our national anthem.
We now ask that everyone please stand to honor our country and those who serve to protect us with the singing of our national anthem by the Blair Oaks High School Choir.
And what a very nice rendition of our national anthem by the Blair Oaks Choir. Going back to the keys for the Hallsville Indians, Hallsville's passing game will be key tonight as the Indians' air attack is paced by senior quarterback Braden Matheny. Matheny has completed 54.7% of his passes in 2024 for 2,311 yards and 20 touchdowns. He is averaging 46 passing attempts this season, and in last week's 48-28 loss to Southern Boone, he attempted 64 passes. Matheny's main target this year is senior wide receiver Isaac Stinson, who has caught 78 passes for 1,021 yards and 9 touchdowns. There is a downside to the Indians' prolific passing, however, as Matheny has been intercepted 16 times. If the Blair Oaks defense is unable to shut down the Hallsville aerial assault, the Falcons will be looking at an unhappy homecoming. Secondly, give the Falcons multiple looks on defense. Hallsville has been showing anywhere from 3 to 5 players on their defensive front this season in what Coach LePage calls a bear front. But unlike the legendary Chicago Bears 1985 defense, Hallsville has been giving up almost 40 points per game in 2024. Hallsville likes to have one or both of their outside linebackers on almost every play up on the line. Sophomore middle linebacker Wyatt Morris leads the Indians with 69 tackles, including 8 for loss. But Blair Oaks has been very adept at exploiting defensive weaknesses this year, so expect the Falcons to be ready for whatever Hallsville throws against them. And finally, hold on to the football. The Falcons have been very good at takeaways in recent weeks, including getting 2 interceptions last week against Eldon. And the Falcons' offense has been exceptional this year in turning turnovers into points. If the Indians can avoid losing the football tonight, they stand a good chance of they stand a good chance of spoiling the Falcons' homecoming with its 3rd win of the season. And we'll be back with Dick Aldrich and tonight's starting lineups after this brief timeout.
Beautiful lawns in Jefferson City, Columbia, and the Lake of the Ozarks. Brought to you by Central Missouri Turf Management. Painstaking professionals, the finest quality products for residential and commercial properties, locally owned, family operated. Call Central Missouri Turf Management for a free estimate at 573-634-2231 or online at cmtmi.com.
I know a place where beautiful lawns begin. Central Missouri Turf.
Right here, right now, it is the Falcon Athletic Complex in Wardsville. Dick Aldrich along with Ed Canese, the Blair Oaks Falcons, the number 1 ranked team in Class 3 in the state of Missouri with a record of 6-1, getting ready to take on the Hallsville Indians with a record of 2-5. The Indians are coached by Paul Stevens, the Blair Oaks Falcons by Ted LePage, of course. Right now, we have clear skies, 62 degrees. It's a beautiful night for high school football in mid-Missouri. It's homecoming here at Blair Oaks High School, and Ed and I were honored to be the grand marshals of the parade this afternoon in Wardsville across the campus of Blair Oaks High School. It was a lot of fun and something I certainly didn't have on my bingo card, as they say, of something that would happen, but it was indeed a great honor, and I want to thank our family. They really are our family here at Blair Oaks High School for taking us in and allowing us to do that. It was great fun this afternoon. Let's take a quick look at the Hallsville Indians. On offense is the way they will line up. Offensive line, Tyson Perigo is a senior. Liam Davis is a freshman. Ethan Wright is a freshman. Connor George is a freshman. And Peyton Harlow is a sophomore. Wide receivers, Lawson Burks, a junior. Aiden Zadrowski, a senior. Gabriel Jenkins, a sophomore. Other wide receivers are Dalvin Smith, a junior. Isaac Stinson, a senior. He's their big player. And Braden Matheny at quarterback. He is a senior. The running back is Wyatt Morris when they go to a running back set. We'll have the Blair Oaks Falcons starting lineup as we go throughout the ball game tonight. But here is Ed Canese. Ed.
There I am. Thanks, Dick. And the Falcons won the toss, elected to defer to the second half. So they'll be kicking off, and they'll be going from your right to your left. So Hallsville will start on the left and with the ball as they go back. The Falcons, of course, clad tonight for their homecoming matchup in their traditional Kelly green jerseys with white numerals, gray pants, the green helmet with the white Falcon logo on both sides. Meanwhile, Hallsville is in their road white jersey with purple number, purple sleeves, black pants, and a dark purple helmet with the Hallsville H on one side and the uniform number of each player on the left side. And those helmets are purple with a nice gold and gold stripe down the middle, a couple of gold stripes on the top. So we're getting ready for this kickoff. As Dick said, it's clear skies. It's 61 degrees, 62 degrees here. Beautiful night for football. Laughlin approaches the ball, and here with the kickoff and the voice of the Falcons is Dick Aldrich.
And the ball is kicked high in this Kemna collision. Kickoff goes down the field, and it's picked up and brought back by Wyatt Morris, and he gets it. Again, it's still on his feet out across the 30 to about the 35-yard line. A nice return there by Hallsville. It was Gabriel Jenkins. Gabe Jenkins with the return out to the 33-yard line of Hallsville. That was a nice return all the way back from about his 2-yard line, and he brought it back and shed a couple of tackles on the way as he came across the field. So the Hallsville Indians will have it first down and 10 from their own 32-yard line. As they've said, the quarterback is Braden Matheny. He's a 3-year starter. They do not have heights and weights for their players. Braden goes about 5'11" and about 175 pounds. Their main receiver, the main man that they're going to try to get the ball to, is Isaac Stinson. He's a returning All-Stater. He's about 6'4" and about 190 pounds.
Yeah, he'll be number 5 on your program.
Throw it underneath, and the ball is dropped.
Yeah, that was Wyatt Morris, the tailback. He comes out. They like to do that too. Hallsville, they like to send everybody knows they're going to be passing, so they send their guys deep, and they like to try and hit Morris out of the backfield. And they tried to hit him on a little look-in pass over the middle, but he wasn't looking in the ball. He was looking out to see where he was going to run, and he dropped it.
He was wide open, though, coming across the middle. Falcons are going to have to stay at home because they will try to go on the screen game. They'll try to go underneath you if you want to play deep against them. Wyatt Morris is to the right of the quarterback, Matheny, on second down and 10 from the 32-yard line. From the far hash mark, Matheny looks left. Here comes the rush. The Falcons chase him out to the left side, and he is hammered down from behind. Aiden Luckett chased him through the backfield, and helping to finish him off over near the numbers is Carson Lubring, the returning All-Stater at 255 pounds, and a loss of a yard by Matheny on the play.
The thing is important, is, as you said, Dick, is that the Falcons have really good coverage in the secondary, but they have to get that rush in there and force Matheny into rolling out and getting outside the pocket, getting into uncomfortable positions.
Third down and 11 now from the 32-yard line of Hallsville. Hallsville will not get in a hurry tonight. They are a team that likes to not huddle, but they do not go fast, although here comes Matheny out. The Falcons would totally want to sleep on that one as he is able to run out to the left, run out to his right and get a first down, and he picks up the better part of let's see, that's going to be about 13 yards and a first down.
Yeah, that play was basically send everybody deep, and when the Falcons went to cover, you just had Matheny roll out to his right, and if he could beat the man to the corner, he had smooth sailing to pick up that first down, and they're out to their 45.
Nobody stayed at home on the left-hand side of the Falcon defense that time. Falcons playing tonight once again without the All-Stater Bryson Varner at the defensive end. James Rodman, a sophomore at 6 foot and 170s in there. Matheny quickly a screen pass out to the right-hand side. Brand breaking tackles going down the sidelines and gets across the midfield. And a penalty flag comes in late as they completed the pass to Gabe Jenkins. But there may be an illegal block coming against Hallsville out around the midfield stripe just across the 50-yard line in Blair Oaks territory.
But again, you can see they like to get it out quick to Morris, and
that's actually Gabe Jenkins.
I'm sorry, Gabe Jenkins. I apologize, Gabe Jenkins. And it's a holding call against Hallsville, but they get it out to Jenkins, and he's got the speed. If he can get to the corner, he can make things happen. Last week, as we said in the pregame, the Indians threw 64 times against Southern Boone. They only rushed 8 times, so they had an 8-to-1 pass-to-run ratio, and they've been doing a lot of that this year. They don't run very often, but they will surprise you every once in a while, like they did on that quarterback scramble that Matheny did for the first down a couple plays ago.
So again, here comes the play clock coming into view now. They just barely got the play off. They got it to Wyatt Morris, and he's not going to get back to the line of scrimmage. He is stacked up right in the middle of the line of scrimmage at the 40-yard line. Loss of a yard on the play, the middle of the Falcons line coming through and making the tackle. Loss of a yard on the play for Morris. Hallsville was just kind of sauntering around, and they looked up at the play clock, and there was about 3 seconds left, and they came up to the line of scrimmage.
It's nice if your offense doesn't want to be too quick and take their time and be methodical, but you got to keep an eye on that clock because they're already at 10 seconds, and here they come up to the line.
And Matheny gets them set. 3 on the play clock. Matheny back to pass. Here comes the rush. They throw it underneath, and the man is pulled down, Gabe Jenkins. He'll lose another couple of yards on the play. And right there on the tackle was the sophomore linebacker, Wyatt Libbert. Wyatt Libbert throws him for a loss on the play of a yard.
Well, it doesn't look like they gave him any loss on that play, Dickie. They put it right back at the 41.
So 3rd down, and now about 15 for Hallsville from their own 41-yard line. And if you get 64 passes off, that means that Hallsville possessed the ball quite a bit last week against Southern Boone. Now a penalty flag comes in.
Yeah, but as we saw last week against Eldon, I don't know what time of possession was, but, the first 4 or 5 touchdowns the Falcons had, they were like 2-play drives in 30 seconds. And it was, because they'd make one big play to get down to inside the around the 10, and then they'd score from there.
So the penalty against Hallsville will back them up on 3rd down here. Illegal procedure against Hallsville. They came up and did not get set. So now it's a 3rd down and about 20 for the Indians from their own 36-yard line.
Yeah, they have to get to the, for first down, they'll have to get to the Falcon 45. So 3rd and 19.
Matheny looks it over, lets the play clock run down. They move a man in motion to the right side. Matheny back to pass, looks to his left and throws, has a man, and down the sidelines. The man's going to be knocked out of bounds as he gets across the 45 out to the 47-yard line. And that pass went to Lawson Burks, and a gain of about 12 yards on the play. And it'll bring up 4th now at about 7. And this team does not punt.
Yeah, that was a good play. If you're not going to be a punting team, then if you're facing a 3rd and 19, you better get about 2/3 of that at least on the 3rd down play to make it a little bit more manageable.
So already we see Hallsville being able to move the ball against the Falcons, and if the Falcons have an Achilles heel on defense, it is their pass defense. They have been passed on a little bit this season. Matheny takes the snap on 4th down. Back to pass. He sets up, throws the ball deep, going for Stinson. It's caught in. Isaac Stinson is going to be pulled down from behind at the 13-yard line. Saving the touchdown was Shea Linhart, but there you saw it right there on cue. A long pass by Matheny down the field. 39 and 5 is 45 yards on the completion.
Yeah, and that one, Matheny just went back and just heaved it right down the middle of the field. Nice pass, nice reception by Stinson as it went right, as he just, caught it with his fingertips and hauled it in like you're supposed to. But right now the Falcons are trying to figure out a way to stop this. They've been able to stop them on 2 downs, but now they can't stop them on the 3rd down when they need to, or the 4th down.
And this is another thing Hallsville does a lot. They're not afraid to call timeout. They will use all their timeouts. They're not saving them, and they'll take a timeout here.
You don't get, you don't get any door prizes for having timeouts left at the end of the half or the game, so you might as well use them when you need them.
So 8:29 to play in the first quarter, and the Blair Oaks Falcons nothing and Hallsville nothing. Hallsville on the initial drive of the football game have moved the ball down the field now. They've just completed a very long 4th down pass and converted a 4th down opportunity. And Isaac Stinson was not thrown to until that play, and the Falcons saw him get behind the coverage. Falcons will go man-to-man. They do almost all season long against any team that they have played. It did cost them a little bit against Southwest in Kansas a couple of weeks ago. And, of course, they had all kinds of trouble with Lutheran North and their speed. So we'll see if the Falcons can get Hallsville stopped here. 1st down and 10 for Hallsville. And the Indians have scored on just about everybody this year despite their 2-5 record.
Yeah, they've been putting up about, 20, 25 points a game.
Play clock running down as they take the snap. Matheny back to pass, going to arch it towards the end zone. The pass is going to be incomplete. Linhart was hand fighting with Isaac Stinson over there in the front corner of the end zone, and the pass goes incomplete.
Well, you said who's going to cover Stinson.
It's going to be Shea Linhart.
Yeah.
And Shea Linhart, the junior at 5'10", is the tallest of the corners for the Falcons. As I said, Stinson goes about 6'3" or 4.
We need to start stretching out our secondary a little bit. Get some taller guys back there.
We do have some little guys back in the secondary. But as I said, they'll bite your kneecaps. Second down and 10.
A little bit deadly.
As they take the snap, Matheny, a little screen underneath. It goes to Jenkins. Jenkins is hit, driven down, and pushed down as he gets to about the 10-yard line. Falcons got over there and rallied to stop Gabe Jenkins as he got outside the numbers. And Shea Linhart, among others, there on the tackle for the Falcons. A gain on the play of about 4, and it'll bring up now a 3rd down and 6. Jenkins' 3rd catch of the night. And so far, the Hallsville line has been holding up rather admirably against the Blair Oaks experienced defensive line.
Well, they may be young, but it looks like they got some pretty big boys out there on that offensive line.
3rd down and 6. Matheny with a running back to his right. He takes the snap, goes back to pass, and he's being forced out to his right. He'll throw on the run and throws it out of bounds, and it will go incomplete. And that's another thing you will see Matheny do. He will throw passes out of bounds, but last week against Southern Boone, several times the Southern Boone defensive line was in his face, and he threw the ball going backwards a lot, and actually completed some of his best completions were him just kind of throwing it in desperation, and Stinson coming down with it and making long plays out of him.
Well, on that play, he had a lot of green shirts in his face. He was going backwards and sideways, and he was able to fling it out of bounds.
Here's a 4th down play now. They have to get it inside the 5-yard line. Matheny back to pass, looking, throws it to the end zone, and the pass is going to be incomplete. The Falcons chase the man down. Libert was back there on the coverage for the Falcons. And also I look up and I see number 22, Austin Nilgis, on the coverage as they were going for Stinson, and the Falcons double-teed Stinson in the back corner of the end zone. The pass falls incomplete, and the Falcons get the turnover on downs.
To be honest, that was so far in the back part of the end zone. If Stinson would have caught it, I don't know if he would have come down in bounds.
And Stark back in there, too. Kind of lost everybody back in the back corner of the end zone.
So the Indians, that was their 11th play, and they took like 4.5 minutes off the clock.
Backs back to pass on 1st down. Rolls out to the right, and he's going to keep it and run. Turns it up and goes for the sidelines, puts his shoulder down and gets out of bounds. And he'll pick up 5 yards on the play as he was chased out over there on the far side by the Hallsville Indians. Falcons wanted to pass right away. Falcons have done pretty well on being a ball control offense this year. And on 2nd down, they hand off up the middle, and Lackman not going much of anywhere. Got a couple of yards up the middle. It'll be 3rd down and short. 3rd down and about 2, but give Lackman only a gain of about 2 on the play.
Looks like a long 2. It's almost 3 because the Falcons have to get just over the 21. Not quite to the 20, just over the 20. Not quite to the 21, but they do have to get past the 20 to pick up a 1st down.
That's Lackman into the backfield, but Bax keeps it himself. Out around the left end, 1st down and more, 25-30, and he's pulled down as he comes across the 30 to about the 33-yard line. Give him a gain of 15 yards and a 1st down. Tyler Bax on the quarterback keeper.
And we've noticed this in the last few weeks as the season has progressed. Coach LePage talked about how that offensive line has really come together, being a force, just firing out on these running plays and taking everybody out of their way.
Bax wants to pass on 1st down, rolling to his right, throws on the run, and the pass is a diving catch that is made. A nice catch over on the far side. And that's Jet Currett on the catch. And a gain of about 14 yards on the play. Nice catch, Jet.
Falcons at their own 47. They got a couple of 1st downs on this drive. They started back around their 10.
And on 1st down, Bax pitch wide left. Here comes Brady. 50, 45, 40, 35, 30, 25, 20. Good night, Gracie. Touchdown, Falcons. Brady Dapkus, 53 yards, and the Falcons are on the scoreboard with 5:58 to go in the 1st quarter. Blair Oaks 6 and Hallsville nothing. Nobody touched Brady Dapkus from 53 yards out.
Currett's name may be Jet, but Dapkus has got the Jets.
He turned that corner, and he was gone. Laughlin on to attempt the extra point. 5:58 to go in the first quarter. Laughlin, the state's all-time leading extra point kicker. Snap back, ball down. The kick is up, it's high, it's long, and it is good. 5:58 to go, first quarter. Blair Oaks 7, Hallsville nothing on MidmoSportsOnline.com. You're watching the Tobin's Towing Blair Oaks Falcons game of the week. We will return to the Falcon Athletic Complex in Wardsville after this timeout.
It's not just experience and reputation that sets Dodson and Waters apart, but also their knowledge of the local legal system. They go the extra mile with every case because they know it's your future at stake. Maybe you need help navigating the systems of life, either buying a home or starting a business. Or it could be that you're in a difficult situation and need someone to fight for you. Wherever life takes you, know that you can count on Dodson and Waters for expert guidance and support. At Dodson and Waters, they say, your case, your future, our fight. Set up a free consultation today at dodsonwaters.com.
That was a 5-play, 90-yard drive in 1 minute, 28 seconds. Brady Dapkus, 53-yard touchdown run. Laughlin with the extra point. 5:58 to go, first quarter. Blair Oaks 7 and Hallsville nothing on MidmoSportsOnline.com. And that is your Tim Van Ronson, attorney at law, scoring drive summary.
And on the ensuing kickoff, it went into the end zone.
So Laughlin drove it through the end zone, and Hallsville will have it 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. As they just passed full moon rising here above the stadium at Blair Oaks High School.
We'll have to see if it'll be a bad moon on the rise for the Indians.
You can see it there just above the shed in your picture. It's an orange moon that came up. And on first down, swing pass to the left side. It goes to Stinson, and Stinson fights his way out across the 25 to the 26-yard line.
Stinson's so big, he catches it and he runs about a couple of yards. If he gets tackled, he'll fall forward and pick up another 2 or 3.
So Stinson will pick up a 6 yards, and it'll bring up now a second down and about 4 for the Hallsville Indians. The Indians, as I said, will take a lot of time between plays, as most teams will do against Blair Oaks. They want to keep that offense off the field. They want to keep the opposition's offense on the field as long as they can. Matheny with a blocking back to the right on second down and 4. Takes the snap, sets, throws underneath. The pass is caught, and it's going to be a first down on forward progress, as the pass is caught
number 11
by Lawson Burks, and he was tackled by Sam Klosser, but a gain of 5 yards on the play and a first down.
What the Falcons have to do is they have to stay patient. They know they're going to be facing a lot of passes, and there's going to be a lot of completions for the Indians. What they have to do is stay with their man and bring him down as soon as they make that catch, and not try and jump the gun and miss a pass, and it gets instead of the interception, it ends up going the wrong way for a touchdown.
On first down and 10, back to pass is Matheny. He sets and throws the ball deep down the far sideline. The pass is incomplete. They were looking for Aiden Zadrowski over there on the far side. The pass was high, too far for him, and nearly intercepting the ball was Austin Nilgis, the safety, who swung over on the coverage there for the Falcons. Second down. And, they do have some fairly large young men in there on the offensive line. I'm looking at number 75 here.
Number 75, I noticed him right away. He's a freshman, Liam Davis. He's big enough to be a sophomore, too.
He's a big guy. Second down and 10. Matheny quickly a pass underneath, and the pass is incomplete. He threw the pass underneath and missed his wide receiver, Lawson Burks, but right there with Burks was Sam Klosser.
It almost looked like he threw it behind Burks a little bit.
Yeah, he did miss him with the pass.
But they got some pretty big boys over. Number 66 on that offensive line, Tyson Perego, is a senior, and that's why we probably couldn't see the moon. He was blocking it out until it got up high enough.
You look at the offensive line. You look at the lineman for Hallsville. There's only one senior
And that would
the
be,
entire line on the entire team.
Yeah.
Who's a lineman, and that's Perigo. And on third down and long, Matheny back to pass. He has plenty of time now, runs out of it, runs to his left. He's going to load it up and throw the ball as far as he can, and the ball is going to be incomplete. Diving attempt out about the Falcon 45-yard line. And at that point, I think they just see that if you're going to be chased and you're going to be tackled for a loss, just go ahead and chuck it and see what happens. And just as much a punt as it would be anything else on a third down and 10.
Well, yeah, if he throws it down the field far enough, even if the Falcons pick it off, more than likely they're going to go out of bounds. They're going to be tackled right there. So here it is, 4th and 10.
And it looks like Matheny's going to back up, and it looks like he's going to punt it. And the left footer kicks it away. It's a high nose-up spiral taken by Dapkus, and here comes Brady. Stops at midfield and cuts back across the field. Stiff arms one
nice
man
block.
to the ground. Goes to 40, 35, 30, 25, 20, outside 10. And he's pushed out of bounds. They'll mark him out of bounds inside the 15 at the 13-yard line.
And I think it was that big senior that pushed him out of bounds. He took that in on about the Falcon 43. So that's 7, 27, 37. No, not quite 30. Yeah, 37. 44-yard punt return. Yeah.
Just wait for Kevin Backus to tell us.
I know.
He'll tell us.
I get it. I should know that by now. I just listen for Kevin. He'll give me the scoop.
First down and 10 for the Falcons from the 13-yard line of Hallsville. Falcons trying to go up by 2 scores here as Bax fakes the give to Lackman up the middle, then keeps it himself, and he got spun down. And a nice play made in the middle of the defense for Hallsville. And it looks like that was number 33 on the tackle, and that's Wyatt Morris. No gain on the play for Bax. As he faked the give up the middle to Lackman, and Lackman went burying his head through the line, but Bax pulled it out. Wanted to run it himself and was pulled down. Falcons with some questions a little late getting this play in.
Well,
and the Falcons are going to have to probably take a timeout here.
No, I think there were some problems with the illegal participation. I was wondering because the play clock was down to 12, then it just flipped back to 25. So I guess they called the penalty right then. But
Hallsville broke the huddle, if it were as it were, with 12 men on the field. So
now it's going to be about 3 yards for a first down.
And they hand off. Lackman stops and starts, puts his way into the end zone for the touchdown, Falcons. Nice run by Hayden Lackman. 2 men faced him down right in the backfield. Made a nice cut to his right and then spun and used his leg power to go into the end zone. And the Falcons back on the scoreboard with 3:44 to go in the first quarter. Falcons lead it by the score of 13-0 as Hayden Lackman goes in from 7 yards out. Laughlin on to attempt the extra point. A beautiful homecoming night here in Wardsville. Engelbrecht to hold, Bonnet to center. Snap back, ball down. The kick is up, it's high, it's long, and it is good. 3:44 to go in the first quarter. Blair Oaks 14 and Hallsville nothing. On MidmoSportsOnline.com, you are watching the Tobin's Towing Blair Oaks Falcons Game of the Week. We'll return after this timeout.
The Farmer Companies of Jefferson City. Over more than 80 years, Farmer has become a leader in building materials, logistics, and real estate worlds. These young athletes in tonight's game know that to become the best takes time, dedication, and a tireless work ethic. The values we share make Farmer Companies proud to help bring you tonight's game. If you would like to become a part of a family-owned, forward-thinking leader, come check us out online at farmercompanies.com. Farmer Companies of Jefferson City. Come grow with us.
So the Falcons get it ball in the end zone. It was a 2-play, 13-yard drive following the punt return by Dapkus. Lackman on the 7-yard touchdown run, and the extra point by Laughlin is good. 3:44 to go in the first quarter. The Falcons lead by the score of 14-0 as Laughlin drives the ball through the end zone, and Hallsville will take over first down and 10 from their own 20-yard line.
In another Mid-Missouri game, we've got an update in. The Capital City Cavaliers are down in Camdenton to take on the Lakers tonight, and right now Capital City is up in the first 7-0.
That's a big game for second place in the Class 5 district. Helias is going to win that district after beating Capital City. And if Helias can go ahead and win out, and they probably will, they've got Sedalia tonight. And then next week they will finish off with Lift for Life, I believe, actually. So here is a first down and 10. Back to pass. Matheny throws underneath. The man is hit hard and slung down after a very short gain, if any at all.
Looks like they're going to give him about 2 yards or yard.
About a yard or so. And that was number 6, Dalvin Smith, on the catch. And they do give him 2 yards on the catch.
That's what the Falcons have to do. As soon as somebody catches that ball for the Indians, the defenders have to be able to tackle cleanly, bring them right down, so they can't get any yards after the catch.
On second down from the 22-yard line, Hallsville going from left to right here in the first quarter of play. As Matheny, the senior quarterback, takes the snap, goes back to pass, throws underneath again. The man is hit hard out across the 25 at about the 27-yard line. And that, once again, is Dalvin Smith.
No, that was Stinson.
No, it's number 6. That's Dalvin Smith.
Okay.
And Smith makes the catch. And a gain of 5 yards on the play. So Smith's second straight catch. He is a junior. Saw him last year in Hallsville.
Okay, another big third down here.
Third down at about 3 now. 3 receivers to the left side, tandem receivers to the right as Matheny takes the snap. He throws it underneath, and the pass is nearly intercepted. Went off the hands of Stinson, and hit the linebacker, Wyatt Libbert, right between the 4 and the 2, but he wasn't watching for the ball. He was trying to figure out where Stinson was, and the pass went incomplete. So it'll bring up now a 4th down and 3, and it looks like Hallsville will probably go for it here. Down 14-0 with 2:20 to go in the first quarter.
And
they've been running with an empty backfield on this drive.
We'll see if this results in a first down for Hallsville or something they may later come to regret.
And they throw it underneath, and a diving catch is made by Stinson out across the 30. And they say it is a catch, and that's Dalvin Smith again, number 6 with a catch. And he's got the first down after a gain of about 5 on the play.
Yeah, if he had gone any lower to catch that, he would have been coming up from underneath the ground.
That was quite a catch by Dalvin Smith. Already the 19th pass by Braden Matheny.
He's just getting warmed up.
Yep, we're not even out of the first quarter yet. Still about 2 minutes to go.
Well, he's on the way he's going. They're on pace for about 80 passes tonight.
First and 10 for the Hallsville Indians from their own 34-yard line. 3 receivers wide right, tandem receivers left.
Flag.
And flag comes in, and legal formation coming up against Hallsville again. A delay of game, actually, is the signal from the official.
So they'll move them back 5. And there's a minute 41 left to go here in the first quarter, as it's moved rather quickly, considering how many times Hallsville's been throwing the ball. Usually when you get a team that throws a lot, the clock doesn't move as fast because of the incompletes.
Matheny 10 for 19 and 89 yards so far tonight. On first down and 15, Matheny rolls out to his left, now being chased, runs back to his right, and just throws the ball to the sidelines and throws it out of bounds. Did not get back. Well, yes, he did. He got over the line of scrimmage with the pass, so it's not intentional grounding. And it will bring up now a second down and long.
Got an update from Osage Beach. Southern Boone is on the road tonight playing School of the Osage, and the Indians are up 14-0 in the first quarter.
Osage getting votes in the Class 4 polls. I believe they're in 10th in the Class 4 state polls.
Yeah, I think they just broke in this week.
They're 6-1 on the season. Their only loss being to
the
Blair Oaks.
Yeah.
And second and 15, quick pass out to the side. Stinson hit the ball, slapped up in the air by Linhart, and Stinson still came down with it across the 30 at the 32. Give him a gain of 3, but my goodness. Linhart did everything but intercept that ball. It popped up in the air, and Stinson somehow stayed after it and caught it for a 3-yard gain.
Well, when you're 6'4", you tend to have long arms.
And then he reached over.
And he just kind of, it was up there, and he just kind of reached out and snared it. So a third and about 12.
Line of scrimmage, the 32-yard line of Hallsville. Back to pass Matheny. Throws it underneath. Has a man. It's Dalvin Smith. He makes one-man miss. Keeps going and gets across the 40. He's going to be short of the first down, but he picked up a nice gain on that play. Gain of about 10 yards.
Yeah. If the Falcons could have stopped him from getting that pass completed, or only stopped him for a couple of yards, it might have forced the Indians to think about punting. But now with 4th and 2 yards to go from their own 42 for a first down, they're going to go for it. We know they will.
Clock is running with 36 seconds to go in the first quarter. Matheny with 3 receivers wide left, tandem receivers right. Empty backfield, and now another timeout by Coach Paul Stevens and the Hallsville Indians. 29 seconds to go in the first quarter. Blair Oaks 14, Hallsville nothing on MidmoSportsOnline.com. We'll return to the Falcon Athletic Complex after this timeout.
Am I saving enough for retirement? Am I able to retire now? What can I do to make things easier on my loved ones in the future? All the important questions, and George Gonzalez, your Edward Jones financial advisor in Jefferson City, can help you find the answers. George says the time to ask those questions is now. He'll sit down with you for a complimentary consultation to explain the Edward Jones process and answer any questions you may have. Air Force veteran George Gonzalez loves his community and would do anything to be a blessing to it. Find him today at edwardjones.com or call 573-634-3103.
Coming up on a 4th down and 2 now for Hallsville. They have converted to 2 4th down situations so far this evening. I believe it's 2 for 4 so far for Hallsville, or 2 for 3 for Hallsville tonight on 4th down situations from the 42-yard line. On the far hash mark as Matheny wants to throw quickly underneath. A sliding catch made and a first down for Isaac Stinson out across the 45 at about the 46-yard line, and give him a gain of 3 yards and a first down. Really a nice play there, Ed.
Yeah, all Stinson did was go out and cut back in across the middle and just kind of sit down right there a yard past the sticks. Matheny hit him. Boom. First down.
And Hallsville's going to let the first quarter clock run out, and that will do it. The Blair Oaks Falcons leading the Hallsville Indians by the score of 14-0 on MidmoSportsOnline.com. We'll return to the Falcon Athletic Complex after this timeout. You are watching Blair Oaks Falcons football, brought to you by Tobin's Towing on MidmoSportsOnline.com.
Sewing project that you need to do, but it's a little more than you can handle. That's where Ann Dooley and the Green Button come in. Ann's a great seamstress who's been in the alterations business for more than 2 decades. A little help with a hem? Take it by the Green Button. A little out here, a little in there? Take it to Ann at the Green Button. And while you're there, take a look around at the historic storefront. Check out Ann's unique creations and say hi to Sparky the Cat. That's the Green Button on the Echo Corner. Dunklin and Jefferson, Old Munichburg, Jefferson City.
Falcons lead at 14-0, but Hallsville has been moving the ball against the Falcons here tonight the way that nobody else has throughout this part of the season, especially against conference opponents for the Blair Oaks Falcons, Ed.
Yeah, they've done a nice job. It's a controlled passing game. They're not out there throwing 40-yard passes every time. Got an interesting score from the St. Louis area real quick. Our old friends Cardinal Ritter, they're on the road in Creve Coeur, Missouri, taking on the DeSmet Spartans, and at the half, it's 12-3 Ritter over the Spartans.
Oh, Class 5 against Class 6 there.
Yeah.
On first down, Matheny from his own 46, running off to his right. He wanted to throw a screen back to the left, and that was covered by the Falcons, so Matheny just chucks the ball out of bounds, and a penalty flag comes in. This is going to be intentional grounding. There was nobody in the general area code over there on the far side, and the reason that Matheny went over there and threw it is because he wanted to throw the screen to the left side, and the Falcons had cut that off, and so Matheny threw it away.
They kind of blew that up, and of course, that's a loss of down too.
Actually, I think they just called illegal man downfield, ineligible man downfield, because they set the screen over here and then didn't throw the screen. So it's
just a 5-yard penalty,
right?
And they keep the down, and but it will move the ball back to the 41 of Hallsville. Hallsville's had a number of penalties in this first.
Yes, they have. Had trouble getting lined up correctly. First down and 15 now. Matheny looks to his right, wants to pass. Instead, he's being forced out. Lubring shook the ball loose. No, he didn't. He just shook the quarterback.
He just shook the quarterback loose.
As it was Carson Lubring, the 255-pounder, jumped on Matheny's back and wouldn't let go. He, like I said, he was shaking him like a dog with a bone. Matheny didn't cough it up, but he wound up losing a yard.
Carson gave him such a big squeeze. I think Matheny's hands went out. He held on to the ball, but it looked like he might drop it. But unfortunately he didn't. But, again, now it's 2nd and 16.
Matheny in the empty backfield. Goes back to pass, rolling out to his right. He sets, he throws down the middle of the field. The pass is necked down by the Falcons.
Oh,
no. The two Falcons ran into each other trying to defend the pass, and they're going to call interference against the Falcons at the 45-yard line. Klosser and Jace Schwinnard ran into each other as they were covering Lawson Burks, and they kind of staggered off balance and fell into Lawson Burks as he was trying to catch the pass, and they're going to be called for interference. So a 15-yard penalty is going to bring up a 2nd and 1 now.
So it's a good thing the Falcons got that sack on the first down play, dropping back a yard.
And there again, if you saw that, Matheny was way off balance. He just was throwing off his back foot. And, I mean, he threw that ball probably 40 yards down the field off his back foot.
And it was on a line, too.
Yep.
It wasn't like he overthrew his receiver.
Matheny back to pass, looking to his right now, being chased out, dropping deep into the backfield, and he throws the ball out of bounds. Throws the ball over to his bench, and it'll bring up now a 3rd down and 1.
Of course, Hallsville will go for it. If they don't get it on 3rd down, they'll go for it on 4th down.
That last formation, they had a man in the backfield and sent a man in motion, which was the first time they had done that here tonight.
This will be the 12th play of this drive, which started back on the Hallsville 20. So 12 plays, and they've been able to get it out 35 yards.
And Coach Paul Stevens has got to be loving this. I mean, the fact that they are able to possess the ball as long as they have. Play clock is at 3, and Stevens going to take his last time out. This is what I mean, Ed. And you know, you said that you might as well take every time out you got, but you got to save some for the end of the quarter.
A little caveat with that. I don't mind a coach taking his timeouts when it's a big play, like when they took their first timeout and they were down at the 10-yard line. You want to make sure you got the right formation, you got the right play in. Everybody knows what they're going to do. This is more or less they're kind of forgetting where they're at in the field. It's 3rd and 1. If you're going to pass. But, you know, you got to have an idea what you're going to do on that. But generally, I don't have a problem if at a strategic part of the game, you know, in the 2nd quarter, 3rd quarter, whatever, they go ahead and take a timeout because, as I say, if you're close to the end zone or it's a big play, you're going for a 1st down or something like that, something that might be a momentum changer, you want to make sure that you've got the right personnel, the right play called. Everybody knows what they're supposed to do. But these last 2 timeouts, I think, have just been because they're kind of, you know.
They just haven't gotten the play in.
Yeah.
That's simple.
Yeah, they're kind of, as we would say back in my neighborhood, you're kind of futzing around a little bit here.
So we got a 3rd down now and 1. And they'll put Morris in the up back position with Matheny, the quarterback. And Matheny's just going to run it himself. And, boy, look at that hole. He gets up the middle. He does not run often, and he's going to get the 1st down and a whole lot more as he gets inside the 35 down to the 33-yard line. The Falcons were not ready for that play. He took the ball up the middle and was not touched for about the first 10 yards down the field.
That's 2 runs for Matheny, right? Or is that more? Well, he did get sacked once or twice.
Yeah, he has a 13-yard run and a 15-yard run. 1st down and 10 for Hallsville from the 33-yard line. Clock running with 10:33 to go in the 2nd quarter. Falcons lead 14-0. Hallsville has Morris to his right. Matheny wants to pass quickly to the outside. A diving catch, and did he catch it? Yes, he did. What a catch that was by Zadrowski. Aiden Zadrowski laid completely out, got it on his fingertips and pulled it in. That was one of the more spectacular 3-yard gains you're going to see.
Yeah.
That was a spectacular catch.
Of course, the thing to remember is that the Falcons do have a 14-0 lead, and they will be getting the ball to start the 2nd half. So if they could somehow stop Hallsville, or if Hallsville scores, get that ball and go right back down and score again.
Wyatt Morris to the right of the quarterback, Matheny, who wants to throw deep. Down the middle of the field, has a man there, and it's going to be caught for the touchdown. Touchdown, Hallsville. The first time this season that the Blair Oaks first team has given up a touchdown in a conference game. And that was to Isaac Stinson. Stinson beat the corner down the field, and Matheny again throwing off his back foot, and that one was about a 45-yarder into the middle of the end zone. And it's caught for the touchdown. 33-yard completion. And it is now a 14-6 game, and Hallsville going for 2. Matheny in the empty backfield. Looking it over, takes the snap, sets back, rolling to his right, and he's being chased, and he's being wrapped up. He throws it into the end zone, a jump ball situation. That's offensive pass interference. An unbelievable one-handed catch made by Dalvin Scott, but he pushed off. And this is going to be pass interference against Hallsville. Offensive pass interference, that's about as textbook as you're going to see right there. Dalvin Smith just pushed a man in the back as the pass was just thrown up for grabs in the end zone. And this is going to be a 15-yard penalty against Hallsville, and they'll have to retry the point. So this will retry the point after a 15-yard mark-off against Hallsville. So it'll be back across the 15-yard line at the 17-yard line. And again, Matheny was wrapped up. Falcons had him wrapped around the waist. And so he just chucked it into the end zone, and Smith made the catch but pushed off big time before he got the ball into his hands. So it'll bring up now a second try for the point. 9:41 to go, second quarter, 14-6. Blair Oaks with the lead. Matheny.
They better snap it.
In single set, goes back to pass. He throws the ball down the middle of the field. The pass is going to be intercepted. A leaping interception in the end zone by the Falcons. That was Warren Davis. What a play that was. Looked like they had a man running a skinny post, and Davis just leaped in front of the intended receiver and came down with the football. 9:41 to go in the second quarter. Blair Oaks 14, Hallsville 6. You're watching Blair Oaks Falcons football on MidmoSportsOnline.com, and this is the Tobin's Towing Blair Oaks Falcons Game of the Week. Will return after this timeout.
Bull County Eastern District Commissioner Jeff Helsher wishes all of the teams in mid-Missouri good luck during this sports season. As a former athlete and coach, Jeff knows the sacrifice and hard work these young athletes put into becoming the best they can be. Jeff also congratulates all the students who are excelling in other extracurricular activities and in the classroom. Eastern District Cole County Commissioner Jeff Helsher says, "Give it your best, give it your all. You make us all proud."
14 plays, 80 yards, 5 minutes, 53 seconds. Isaac Stinson, a 33-yard touchdown catch from Matheny. The two-point conversion, no good. And 9:41 to go in the second quarter, and the Blair Oaks Falcons lead the Hallsville Indians by the score of 14-6, and that is your Tim Van Ronselen scoring drive summary on MidmoSportsOnline.com. Here comes the onside kick from Hallsville, and doing the kicking is Jack Wooden. Falcons have only run 7 offensive plays so far tonight. Here's the onside kick. It's dribbled along. The Falcons will pick it up back at the 45-yard line. And here comes Engelbrecht. 50, 45, 40, 35, 30. Convoy to the 25, 20, 10, 5. Touchdown, Falcons! 55 yards for the touchdown.
That's what, about the 5th kickoff return for a touchdown this year?
That's his third. Yep, that's his third.
His third, but I mean for the team, it's at least 5.
Yep.
Because Brady's got a couple, if not 3 himself.
Yep. So Jackson Engelbrecht with his third return kickoff for a touchdown this year. The Falcons have still only run 7 plays, and they're 2 touchdowns ahead.
55 yards?
Yep. As Laughlin will kick out of the hold of Engelbrecht. The Hallsville offense is formidable. The defense is questionable.
So are the special teams.
The snap is coming back to Engelbrecht. Snap back, ball down, the kick up high long, and it is good. 9:29 to go, second quarter. Blair Oaks 21, Hallsville 6 on MidmoSportsOnline.com. We will return to the Falcon Athletic Complex after this timeout. You're watching Blair Oaks Falcons football, brought to you by Tobin's Towing.
Just aren't a lot of places that make you go wow anymore. And it's certainly not the one-syllable word I used when my car was rear-ended. Where can I take my car for repair that won't disappoint?
Hi, this is Tanner Kimna with Kimna Collision Repair. We do our best to wow you, not with flash or pizzazz, but by doing the job the right way and returning your vehicle to you in pre-accident condition as quickly as possible. Let someone you trust do the job right. KimnaCollision.com.
Kimna Collision Repair.
One play, 55 yards. That was the onside kick return, and the extra point. The kick return was by Jackson Engelbrecht. The extra point was by Laughlin. 9:29 to go in the second quarter. The Falcons lead by the score now of a 21-6, and that is your Tim Van Ronselen scoring drive summary on MidmoSportsOnline.com as the Hallsville man is bumped out of bounds over on the far sidelines as he brings it out across the 35 to the 36-yard line. And Carson Verslois leading the tacklers over there for the Falcons, also along with Jackson Houston. So here comes Hallsville. Their last drive was 14 plays, and the drive before that was just 5. Yeah.
Their first drive of the year, or drive of the game, that ended in a turnover and downs on the Falcon 10. That was 11. So it was a good return. It was a 26-yard return.
Pass out to the outside. They have a man, that's Gabe Jenkins, and he'll pick up about 4 yards on first down. Out to the 30, just across the 38-yard line. Give him a gain of 3 yards on the pass from Matheny. Dylan Kliegel on the stop for the Falcons.
2nd and 8.
Falcons, they didn't give him much there, did they?
No, 2nd and 8 because they're starting at the 36. They only gave him to the 38. And, the Indians are running a lot of plays, but if you're not getting in the end zone and the Falcons are scoring on 1 or 2 plays, that's not going to do you any good. Oh, look at this.
Jenkins gets a short pass out to the left side, takes it up the numbers to about the 43-yard line, and he's going to get the better part of about 5 yards on the play, 6 yards, and it'll bring him now a 3rd down and 3.
Yeah, they got him 5 yards, yeah. On that play, he caught the pass, and Jenkins didn't. He looked like he tried to spin out, but somebody for the Falcons submarined him and got a hold of him around the ankles and kind of just held him there. The rest of the defense could come over and put him on the turf. Another big 3rd down for this Falcon defense, 3rd and 3 from the Hallsville 43.
This is the formation they usually run Matheny with, and he has it, and he's trying to pick his way through the line. He lost the ball. The ball's being fought for. I think the Falcons got it. I think the Falcons got it. The Falcons wrestled it away from Matheny in the middle of the pile. The ball rolls back inside the 40. The Falcons do have it. There's a turnover. That's what the Falcons needed. Coming up with the ball is Aiden Luckett. The Falcons got a hold of Matheny, and we're throwing him around a little bit. Wyatt Libbert, I think, pulled the ball loose. The ball rolled free, and the Falcons fell on it.
I think they squeezed him again. Grabbed him around the middle, helped pin his arms, and just squeezed hard. So 7:46 here to go in the second quarter. Falcons sitting pretty at their 40-yard line of Hallsville.
1st and 10 for the Falcons. Backs moves Lackman into the backfield. Backs off play action, wants to throw, goes deep down the middle. The pass is high. A leaping catch made by Dapkus at the 20, and he falls inside the 20, and he'll be marked down at the 19-yard line. 21 yards on the pitch and catch. What a catch that was. Dapkus went up and hung in the air and came down with it.
Like he was taking a rebound out the rim.
On first down, backs looks left, throws down the numbers, has a man. It's Rackers. Rackers inside the 5, but a penalty flag comes in. I think the Falcons may have been downfield.
But again, Brendan Rackers doing what he has done so well this year. He just kind of gets out there in those spaces, and he hides a little bit. Kyler Backs can find him, but obviously the defense has had difficulty finding him this year.
An eligible man downfield for the Falcons.
Well, it looked like they might have wanted to try a swing pass out here to the right or to the left. And Rackers was a second or third option. But, again, Rackers is just doing a great job of disguising whatever he's doing. And he just kind of gets lost in the shuffle.
Lackman in motion to the left, takes a low pitch, goes out the left side, gets a good block, turns the corner to the 20, and dives inside the 20 to the 25. Penalty flag comes in again, and we'll see what this is all about. Holding against the Falcons.
So the Falcons got a good play. They got the fumble around the 40 of Hallsville, recovered that. Then they got a good first play from Dapkus to get it down inside the 20 to the 18, and since then they just now they're moving backwards.
And that's going to be a 10-yard mark off from the spot of the foul, which was near the end of the play at the 16-yard line. So this moves it back to the 26.
So still first down, and Falcons have to get down to the 8-yard line to get a first, and they're on the 26.
First and 18 for the Falcons. As Dapkus comes in motion to the right side, backs rolls to the right, and he's looking, now throws late.
Got a man down.
Open there, the ball tipped and incomplete.
Good play on the defense.
Nice play getting over in front of that pass. Was 17, and that was Eli Washam. They had a man in the corner of the end zone.
That was Rackers again. Rackers was able once again to shake a man and get loose. I said this, I think it was against Southwest. I said Rackers has been a money man down there inside in the red zone this year for the Falcons.
Falcons now with Vander Halford at the wide receiver position, back out from his knee injury. The sophomore here is wide to the right side. On second down, they hand off to Lackman, and Lackman carries tacklers inside the 25 down to the 20. Give him a gain of 6 yards, but it'll bring up a third down and long now for the Falcons.
It'll still be a 3rd and 11 for the Falcons from the Hallsville, just inside the Hallsville 20. But Falcons, certainly this will be 2-down territory. You got to figure that.
Dapkus in motion, takes the handoff, gets around the left side, breaks a tackle, dives inside the 15, and a gain of about 6 yards on the play, but it'll be well short of the first down. So 4th down now and about 4 for the Falcons.
The ball will be put down at the 13 of Hallsville.
Let's see what the Falcons come up with here on 4th down. And it's a long 5, actually, almost 6 yards from the 13-yard line. They move Lackman in motion off to the right side. Backs rolls to his right, looking to throw, and he's going to tuck it and keep it, then put his head down, dives to the 10-yard line, but he's going to be short of the first down. He's going to be short of the first down. Hallsville with the stop. Getting over to make the tackle. Number 8, and that was Jack Wooden, the sophomore. And so Blair Oaks turns it over on downs. 4-yard gain by backs, but he needed 6. The Falcons turn it over with 6:13 to go in the second quarter, and the Falcons with a 21-6 lead.
I know they like to get the touchdowns, but sometimes I always wonder if it would have been better to try a field goal. Just get some points out of it, and just add to that lead. Make them chase you. But anyway, it's, if he dives and he makes it, then it's like, hey, what a great, there's a great play. But you try it, sometimes you win, sometimes you lose. But now it's up to the Falcon defense to rise up again and stop Hallsville.
From the 10-yard line, quick pass to the right side of the receiver screen, and Zadrowski has it, pulling tacklers out across the 10 to about the 12-yard line. A quick wide receiver screen from Matheny, the quarterback, to the senior wide receiver, Aiden Zadrowski, and a gain of 2 yards on the play. That is 30 passes for Matheny already this evening. Second down and 9 for Hallsville. Clock running, 5:40 to go in the second quarter. The Falcons up 21-6. Play clock under 10 seconds. As Matheny with the blocking back to his left, steps back to pass near the end zone, rolling out to his right. He's being chased, he throws, and it's incomplete. Falcons diving, almost got the ball caught over in the far sidelines, but it would have been well out of bounds. That time Aiden Luckett came through and was chasing Matheny through the end zone. So bring up now a 3rd down and 8 for Hallsville. Big down here if the Falcons can get the Hallsville to
Okay.
not complete a pass here. They will be in punting situation.
Dylan Kliegel checks in. Hank Lucanati checks out.
So Kliegel's going to be the outside backer on the left side here in this formation.
Wonder if the Falcons might try a little blitz on this play.
Gabe Jenkins now goes out in the wing to the left side. 3 receivers left, 2 to the right. And penalty flag comes in. Another illegal formation by Hallsville.
Either that or he took too much time.
He did take too much time.
I looked over and it was at 0. And
well, this is the extreme that you're going to see. There, a lot of teams do this against Blair Oaks. They want to keep the offense off the field, and Hallsville is definitely trying to do that, but they're doing it a little bit too well. That's the 3rd delay of game against Hallsville.
To go with a couple other penalties they've had. So now it's a third, looks like what, third about 13.
Line of scrimmage will be the 7-yard line of Hallsville. Double stack receivers 4, 2 to each side as Matheny retreats to the end zone. He's being chased through the end zone and he throws the ball out of bounds. James Rodeman chased Matheny out of the pocket. Matheny just had to throw it away. And the Falcons now will force Hallsville to kick it from deep in their own end.
You would think so.
Yep.
Who knows?
We'll see.
Keep everybody back and just send Stinson long.
So Matheny is still on the field. Of course, he is the punter. Wyatt Morris is in as a blocking back in the wing to the left, and Matheny somehow gets it out of there, kicks a wobbler up the near sidelines, but it gets a good bounce. Stapkus is going to watch it roll dead. Back all the way at the Falcon 40-yard line, 39-yard line. Boy, that is a big punt there to get that out of the shadow of the end zone. So that's about 55 yards.
Falcons will take over with 5:07 to go in the first half.
And that was done with one step and a man right in his face. Matheny kicked that from about 4 yards behind the line of scrimmage. Got it out with his left foot and kicked it 55 yards with the roll. So 1st and 10 for the Falcons with 5:07 to go in the second quarter. Falcons lead 21-6. On first down, Bax runs the option to the left, pitches it underneath to Lackman. Lackman is in the clear, 50-45, far sidelines 40-35. Penalty flag comes in as there's going to be an illegal block against the Falcons over at about the 40-yard line. So we'll see how far back this marches that play. That was the shovel pass that the Falcons.
They got a hold.
Yep. Falcons have been called several times for that tonight. That's the 3rd holding penalty against the Falcons tonight. And they're going to mark it off from the 42-yard line of Hallsville, which will move it back to the 48 of Blair Oaks.
So
give Lackman a gain of 8 yards on the pass.
9 yards.
9 yards.
Because they're starting at their 39. And it's still first down, so it's 1st and 1.
On the second down now for the Falcons, the line of scrimmage is the Falcon 48-yard line with the ball on the far hash mark. Bax rolls to his right again. He's going to keep it himself. He's going to turn it up, and he puts his head down, comes inside the 45 of Hallsville to the 43. He's got the first down as he'll pick up 9 yards on a first down.
That is only the 4th first down of the half for the Falcons. Of course, they haven't had the ball much.
That was just their 14th play that they've run in the game. First down and 10 for the Falcons from the 43 of Hallsville. Ball on the near hash mark this time as the Falcons go from left to right. Backs quickly, throws a pass underneath, gets it to Kerwood, and Jet carries a tackler inside the 35. He'll be down close to the 30-yard line, down to the 31, and a gain of 12 and a first down. Jet Kerwood with the catch and run. Falcons back in business. 1st and 10 from the Hallsville 31-yard line. 4:31 to go, second quarter, clock running. On first down, they hand to Lackman. Lackman finds a hole over left guard and tackle, and he gallops his way inside the 30 down to about the 26-yard line, and a gain of 5 yards.
Just picking his way through the defense.
Falcons right back up to the line of scrimmage. Hallsville making a late substitution. Tandem receivers to either side. Man comes into the backfield. It's Stapkus. Pitch wide right. Brady down the sidelines. He's pulled out of bounds and thrown down as he gets
get the first,
inside the 25. Yeah, I believe he did.
From
Had to get to the 21.
If they put it down at the 21, that'll be a first, and it is.
So give Brady Dapkus a gain of 6 yards and a first down. 3 carries, 65 yards now for Brady. Blackman into the backfield behind Backs as Backs pulls it out and runs it around the left side into the 15 to the 10. He pulls tacklers forward, being spun around to the 5. Still comes pulling tacklers and pulled down at the 1 yard line. What a run that was by Tyler Backs. A gain of 20 yards and a first down and goal.
Yeah, he pulled out the old spinorama move a couple times on that. Almost got him in the end zone.
Doing the do-si-do with a couple of the linebackers for Hallsville. First down and goal from the 1 yard line. Backs in an empty backfield. They move Blackman now back in there with him. As Backs hands off to Hayden, he gets hit in the backfield, but keeps his feet and goes into the end zone for the touchdown, Falcons.
Hayden Blackman from 1 yard out.
3:33 to go, second quarter. Blair Oaks 27, Hallsville 6 on MidmoSportsOnline.com. Hayden Blackman with the touchdown from a yard out. And it will be Laughlin on to attempt the extra point. So the Falcons turn a long 55-yard punt, turn it back down the field, and score the touchdown. Laughlin to hold out of to kick out of the hold of Engelbrecht. Bonnet, the center, sends it back. Engelbrecht gets it down. Laughlin puts it up, and it is good. 3:33 to go, second quarter. Blair Oaks 28, Hallsville 6. You are watching Blair Oaks Falcons football on MidmoSportsOnline.com. Brought to you by Tobin's Towing. We'll return after this timeout.
Lisa Taylor is your full-service realtor in mid-Missouri. Working with Associated Real Estate Group, Lisa can deliver for you whether you're buying or selling. As an independent agent, she joined Associated Real Estate Group because she is passionate about her work and taking care of her clients. Contact Lisa Taylor today at 573-301-8167. Lisa Taylor, Associated Real Estate Group, and Mid-Missouri High School football, a winning combination.
Not going to lie, Hallsville has moved the ball better than I thought they would here tonight, but the Falcons, with just a few plays, have been able to get now to a commanding lead at 28-6 as Laughlin will kick off for the Falcons, and he kicks it high and deep and will bounce at the 5 and roll into the end zone, and that was a 7-play, 61-yard drive in 1 minute 34 seconds. Lackman caps the drive with a 1-yard touchdown run, extra point good. 3:33 to go in the second quarter. Falcons 28, Hallsville 6, and that is your scoring drive summary, brought to you by Tim Van Ronselen, attorney at law. So first down and 10 now for Hallsville, as they come out on the field. And we'll see how they're able to maneuver and try to get down the field here on first down and 10 from their own 20-yard line. Go ahead.
I was just to say, this is the third time out of 6 drives that the Hallsville is going to start from their own 20.
Little swing pass out to the right and getting out across the 25 to the 26-yard line. And once again, that was Gabe Jenkins on the catch and a gain of 7 yards on first down. Jenkins was just kind of out there in a naked screen and made a couple of men miss. Made a nice gain out of it.
And at the half in Osage Beach, Osage Indians all over the Southern Boone Eagles, 24-0.
We're in Ashland next week on MidmoSportsOnline.com as Matheny takes the snap, sets back, throws it underneath, has Stinson. He's going to get the first down, and Shea Linhart is going to bounce him off the turf at about the 32-yard line. Give him a gain of 5 yards on the play, and Stinson slow to get up.
Here's an interesting score out of Chillicothe. The Chillicothe Hornets are hosting Odessa tonight, and they lead at the half 6-3 over the Bulldogs.
Wow. Odessa has had some surprising results this year. They have not been the power.
And bad.
Yeah, they have not been the powerhouse that they have been in years past. Empty backfield on first down and 10 for Hallsville from their own 32-yard line. Ball right in the middle of the field as Matheny waits for the snap. Goes back to pass, he sets, he throws underneath, has a man, and it's Dalvin Smith, and he's going to be pulled down after a nice gain out across the 35 to the 40-yard line. Smith is slippery once he gets the ball, and the Falcons were able to rally to the ball and cut him down, but it was an 8-yard gain on the play. So Hallsville, a 2-5 team, hanging right in there with the number 1 team in Class 3 in the state of Missouri. It is a 28-6 lead for the Falcons, but Hallsville has been moving the ball tonight. Matheny quickly a pass underneath. A leaping catch made by Dalvin Smith. He gets hit hard by Kliegel, and the Falcons are able to knock him off his feet, but a gain on the play of about 6 yards and a first down. Kliegel and Schwinnard were over there. And Dillon hit him hard first. You could hear that hit all the way up here.
As we move a minute and under a minute 40 to go in the half.
Swing pass to Jenkins out on the left side, and Jenkins is dragging tacklers inside the 50-yard line of Blair Oaks down to the 49. As Schwinnard is checking, it was Nilgis wrapping up around the legs. And a gain of 7 yards on the play. As Matheny is quickly getting towards 200 yards on the night. He's at 183 now. Matheny back to pass. Here comes a rush. Lubering forces him out to the left. He's going to throw on the run down the sidelines. It's incomplete. Nice diving catch made, but well out of bounds was Stinson down here at about the 32-yard line. Stinson is so rangy. He's looks like a pipe cleaner out there. He's, as they say, wiry. 6'4" and just looks like a wide receiver. I mean, he looks the part. Yeah. Really does. On 2nd down and 10 from the Blair Oaks 49-yard line. 4 receivers in this pattern as Matheny goes back to pass. Looks to his right. Has a man cutting underneath. It's Jenkins once again. He got sandwiched. He may not get up from that one. He was hit hard. Schwinnard and Kliegel with the knockout blow inside the 45 down at the 44-yard line. It's going to be enough for the first down.
He's going to have to go sit out because.
Yeah, he got sandwiched that time, and you saw his head snap when he was hit. He somehow hung on to the ball, but he was hit hard.
Clock stopped with a minute to go in the first half, and it's a first down for Hallsville at the Falcon 43.
Matheny with a blocking back to his right. 10 receivers either side. He wants to pass. Underneath again he goes, and the pass is incomplete. Threw it for Zadrowski at about the 38-yard line, and the pass was too far in front and incomplete. That stops a stretch of 6 in a row completed by Matheny.
How many has he attempted tonight?
39 so far. That was the 39th attempt.
I said in the first half he may end up with 80 attempts tonight.
This reminds me of Zarneski at Montgomery County back in the early 2000s. This was the kind of offense they ran. 3 receivers wide left. Matheny back to pass. He sets and he throws it underneath. The pass is incomplete through the hands of Zabrowski. He was thrown a little bit behind him out here at the 42-yard line. He wasn't going anywhere anyways, as right on top of him was Dylan Kliegel. And I'll bring up now a 3rd down. And 10 for Hallsville. Clock stopped with 42 seconds to go in the second quarter. Remember, Hallsville has no timeouts, so they're going to have to go down the field here.
And the Falcons have their full complement if they need any.
Blocking back to the right of the quarterback, Matheny. Looking back to the coaching staff for Hallsville on the far sidelines as the clock goes under 9 seconds. Play clock under 9 seconds. As Matheny takes the snap, goes back to pass. He sets. He's going to arch the ball deep down the left sidelines. The pass is incomplete. He was looking for Zadrowski, who was running a down and out to around the 20-yard line, and the pass was high and incomplete. It'll bring up 4th down.
So it's 4th and 10 from the Falcon 43 with 35 seconds to go. And Hallsville can go for it, but if they don't make it, they're going to give the Falcons, with their full complement of timeouts, they're going to give them some really nice field position.
And Matheny's going to go back to pass. He's going to throw on 4th down.
There's a flag.
Penalty flag comes in. There's a bunch of holding penalties. Matheny all the way back to his own 30. He gets hit as he throws and threw the ball out of bounds. And so it will matter not. The Falcons will get the ball back at the 40 of Hallsville. Matheny was chased all the way back to his 30-yard line. There were a bunch of holding penalties on that one as Luckett was through clean. And he was grabbed, and then Lubring was chasing Matheny all over the yard And Matheny finally just chucked it out of bounds.
Now with 24 seconds left, and the Falcons have the ball first and 10 at their own 43. They have all 3 timeouts. And can they get some points here before the end of the half? And they will get the ball to start the second half.
Backs on first down. Threw the pass badly, and it was intercepted by Hallsville. On the sidelines, looked like he was going to go for Dapkus there, and the pass was picked off, and making the interception was Eli Washam. So a miscommunication there, and backs threw a bad interception, and Washam with the interception for Hallsville. And we have seen Blair Oaks play better.
And again, I think they were just trying to get too much on that first play and overshot the man.
He had a little swing pass out here to the right if he wanted it, but he went downfield further on the sidelines and was looking for Dapkus, and the pass was intercepted. So first down and 10 for Hallsville from the Blair Oaks 50-yard line. Matheny with a blocking back to his right.
Clock down to 0. That's too much time.
You could hear the Blair Oaks sideline yelling from up here. And another delay of game penalty. Again, like we say, we know what they're doing, but they're just doing it too often. and running out of time.
At the half in Boonville, the Boonville Pirates lead the Versailles Tigers 35-0. Kirksville up at home over the Fulton Hornets 35-0 at the half.
On first and long, a swing pass to the right side to Zadrowski. Zadrowski heads for the sidelines and is pushed out of bounds in Blair Oaks territory at the 48-yard line. He'll pick up 7 yards on that pass. Aiden Zadrowski, that is the 43rd pass for Matheny. His arm may get tired by the time this night's over. 10 seconds left on the game clock. 12 seconds left on the play clock as Matheny comes up to the line of scrimmage. On the second down and long, a swing pass to the left side, has it to Stinson, and he'll be pushed out of bounds inside the 40 down to about the 37-yard line.
Should be enough for the first. It is.
And that's going to be an 11-yard gain.
4 seconds left to go in the half.
So, yep.
I was just going to say, so this one, the Falcons need to play it straight up. You figure he's going to try and hit Stinson deep in the end zone.
From the 37 of Blair Oaks, this will be the last play of the first half. Falcons up 28-6 as Matheny retreats to pass. He wants to load it up and throw it deep. Lubring's got a piece of him. Now he just throws it off balance. A high pass down the middle of the field. The pass is going to be incomplete.
Falcons were just trying to knock it away. Nobody was really trying to pick it off or anything. Man, Falcons were in on him. They had hands on him, but he's got a stretchy jersey, and he was able to break free.
45 passes in the first half for the young man Matheny, Braden Matheny in Hallsville. At the Blair Oaks Falcons in limited action for the offense. Lead it here at halftime on homecoming in Wardsville. The score, Blair Oaks 28 and the Hallsville Indians 6 on MidmostSportsOnline.com. Looking at the lineup here, looks like we're going to get ready to have some halftime festivities, homecoming festivities, and we will try to bring those to you as we go throughout the rest of the evening here on MidmostSportsOnline.com. Blair Oaks 28, Hallsville 6 on MidmostSportsOnline.com. We'll return to the Falcon Athletic Complex in Wardsville after this timeout. You are watching Blair Oaks Falcons football, brought to you by Tobin's Towing. Service is a big Blair Oaks Falcons fan, and he sponsors this webcast to let you know how big a fan he really is. You may remember old number 65 back in the day. That was Luke a long time ago, but he's still got great memories of his days as a Falcon and is so proud of what the program has become. Luke wants to thank everybody in Falcon Country and Mid-Missouri that has made his business a success and promises you'll always get his best when you contract with him. Luke Sandbody Bobcat Service helps bring you Blair Oaks Falcons football on Midmo Sports Online.
You cannot choose the things that come into your life, but you can choose the things that you magnify. Magnify Salon of Wardsville wants you to find and magnify your inner beauty. Sarah Linhart and her team's mission is to make every person who walks through their door feel beautiful and feel that they matter. Call or message them today for an appointment at magnifysalon.com. Remember, your hair and beauty matter, but you always matter more. Magnify Salon.
Are you thinking about selling or buying real estate? Here's what you need to know about Mossy Oak Properties. With more than 100 offices in 28 states, Mossy Oak Properties specializes in the outdoor lifestyle with real estate inventory of more than $2.5 billion. Locally, Dwayne Springer combines the power of the Mossy Oak brand with his 30 years of knowledge. Whether it's simply land you're looking at or an existing home, Mossy Oak's brand power and Dwayne's local knowledge of the market is a win-win for you. Give Dwayne a call this week at 573-690-3683 or on the web at mossyoakproperties.com.
Well, I tell you what, it's going to be hard to pick up anything from that on the field. So let's just go ahead and have the halftime show, and we'll try to pick up who gets the homecoming king and queen nod here tonight at the Blair Oaks Falcons homecoming at Wardsville, as the Blair Oaks Falcons taking on the Hallsville Indians, and the Falcons are leading it by the score of 28-6. So let's take a look at the scoring from tonight's ball game. The Hallsville took their first drive from their own 32-yard line and went down the field with it in 11 plays. They got to the Blair Oaks 10-yard line before they turned it over on downs, and it didn't take long for the Falcons to get on the scoreboard. It was a 5-play, 90-yard drive in 1 minute and 28 seconds. Brady Dapkus, a 53-yard touchdown run, point after touchdown, good. And the Falcons, with 5:58 to go in the first quarter, led it by the score of 7-0. Hallsville then would go 5 plays and punt, and the Falcons would take the ball on the punt return. Dapkus would return at 44 yards to the Hallsville 13-yard line, and from there the Falcons would put the ball in the end zone in 2 plays, 13 yards, 16 seconds. Hayden Lackman, 7-yard touchdown run, point after touchdown, good. 3:44 to go in the first quarter. Falcons led 14-0. But Hallsville then would have their best drive of the football game. It was a 14-play, 80-yard drive in 5 minutes, 53 seconds. Isaac Stinson, a 33-yard touchdown catch. Point after touchdown was no good. 2-point conversion, I should say, was no good. And with 9:41 to go in the second quarter, it was Blair Oaks 14 and Hallsville 6. The Hallsville Indians would then onside kick, as they do every single time when they get a chance to kick off. Falcons would pick it up at their own 45-yard line. Jackson Engelbrecht caught the onside kick, and he returned it 55 yards for a touchdown. The extra point was good. 9:29 to play in the second quarter. Falcons led it by the score of 21-6. Hallsville would then turn the ball over. Braden Matheny tried to run a ball up the middle, and he was knocked down. The ball came out. The Falcons fell on it. Aiden Luckett with the recovery for the Falcons, and they take over at the Hallsville 40-yard line, but Falcons on 5 plays have to turn the ball over on downs. A couple of penalties in that drive set them back and kept them from getting the first down, or getting a touchdown, I should say, and they gave the ball back to Hallsville at the Hallsville 10-yard line. 3 plays and punt for Hallsville next. The Falcons would take over at their own 39-yard line following the punt, and at the 5:07 mark of the second quarter, and the Falcons would drive at 61 yards in 7 plays, 1 minute and 34 seconds. Hayden Lackman, a 1-yard touchdown run, point after touchdown, good. 3:33 to go in the second quarter, and the Blair Oaks Falcons led it by the score of 28-6. Hallsville would then go on another 11-play drive, but they were able to get them stopped. Blair Oaks was, and they turned the ball over on downs at the Blair Oaks 43-yard line. Then it was just 24 seconds left, and the Falcons got the ball back. And on the first play from scrimmage, after they got the ball back, it was Tyler Bax throwing an interception. Eli Washam on the interception for Hallsville. He brought it back to the 50-yard line. But in 3 plays, Hallsville was trying to work the ball down the field, and they met with mixed results. And the final play was a deep pass by Matheny from deep in his own end, and the ball was knocked down by several Falcons, and the Falcons would hold off to the end of the half and lead it by the score of 28-6 here at halftime at Blair Oaks at Wardsville. Looks like Jackson Engelbrecht is wearing the crown. Looks like he's the homecoming king. They'll announce the homecoming queen here shortly. They do announce the homecoming king at the pep assembly here during the day at Blair Oaks High School. So Jackson Engelbrecht is the homecoming king, and we'll have the homecoming queen information for you hopefully at the end of this halftime. And Ed wants to speak. Yes?
I was just going to say, Jackson was wearing it during the parade today.
Oh, was he? I didn't
my wife,
that.
They were way behind us, but my wife took a picture, and she said, when she looked, she says, I don't know who that football player was, but he must think he's already won. And it's like, well, if they pick him at the assembly today, then yes, he already knew it.
Yep, they always do that. And
I was like it. My wife is very perceptive. She picked out that he had it. We didn't notice anything.
So Jackson Engelbrecht is the homecoming king, and as we said, we'll have the homecoming queen announcement here for you at the end of halftime. We are at halftime at Blair Oaks at Wardsville, and the Blair Oaks Falcons are leading the Hallsville Indians by the score of 28-6. You're watching Blair Oaks Falcons football on MidmoSportsOnline.com, and it is brought to you by Tobin's Towing, and we will return to the Falcon Athletic Complex after this timeout.
It's pizza domination. In their never-ending quest to make sure you get your slice of the pie, Pizza Hut has opened another new location. Find them now in Jefferson City at 1508 East McCarty. World-famous pizza, wings, hoagies, salads, and more. And, of course, high school sports on the big screens on Friday nights. Meet your friends at Pizza Hut, Wardsville, St. Martin's, Westphalia, and now Jefferson City. Pizza Hut, an official gathering spot for Midmo Sports Online. This is Dick Aldrich for Ready Pop Gourmet Popcorn and Snacks. I'm so proud of my friends Luke and Kara Ready. They've taken an idea born in their basement and turned it into a rapidly growing small business. Their high-quality, locally produced popcorn is popular for fundraisers, weddings, family gatherings, and now available at Hy-Vee stores in Jefferson City, Columbia, Warrensburg, and Thriftway in Lynn. Find out all about Ready Pop Gourmet Popcorn and Snacks at ReadyPop.com or on their Facebook page or at their store at 631 West McCarty. That's Ready Pop Gourmet Popcorn and Snacks. There's a new player in the roofing, gutters, and siding game in mid-Missouri. Skyline Exterior owner Sean Hoslog and the crew at Skyline Exterior are committed to the highest quality work using the highest quality materials. They're also big fans of high school sports, and they wish all the teams in the area good luck during this school year. Remember, if you need roofing, siding, or gutter services, or just want to have your house inspected, you can call, text, or email Sean at Skyline Exterior, 573-536-6319. and at Sean at skyline-exterior.com. Skyline Exterior, proud to sponsor our young athletes on Midmo Sports Online. Who's the fastest growing tow company in mid-Missouri?
Tobin's Towing.
When you need a tow, large or small, a haul, or even a lockout, who are you going to call?
Tobin's Towing.
Who's locally owned, community involved, someone you know and trust?
Tobin's Towing, 573-690-6161.
Who has the best service at the best prices?
Tobin's Towing, 573-690-6161.
Tobin's Towing. If you or a loved one was injured because of someone else's negligence, call personal injury attorney Tim Van Ronselen. Tim is an aggressive attorney with the experience to know how to get the most for your case. Tim has recovered millions of dollars for his clients. Tim Van Ronselen is a founder of the dynamic new law firm Clement Van Ronselen and Schulte. He's been recognized as one of America's top 100 personal injury attorneys. Remember, if you got hurt, you got a lawyer. Put Tim to work for you. You can reach Tim at 573-691-4800. The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements.
Verslois Construction, a mid-Missouri family-owned construction company. For 45 years, the Verslois name has meant quality construction that stands the test of time. From the Falcon Athletic Complex and Blair Oaks Middle School to the Capital Region Medical Center Amphitheater, Verslois Construction has employed local skilled labor on hundreds of local projects. They're proud to support the families, schools, and students of mid-Missouri. Verslois Construction helps to bring you local high school sports on Midmo Sports Online.
Big Whiskey's in Jefferson City. It's your game night headquarters. Come join the crowd at Jefferson City's premier gathering spot for sports, food, drinks, and fun. The city's best appetizers, wings, and happy hour. Throw in plenty of seating, HD TVs just about everywhere you look, a staff that's as passionate about good food and service as you are about your team, and game night at Big Whiskey's will have you victory dancing well into the weekend. Check them out at bigwhiskies.com.
Bryden, Swearingen, and England, serving Jefferson City for almost 50 years, handling cases from the Missouri Supreme Court to the county courthouse. Known throughout the country as one of the top law firms in Missouri state capital, Bryden, Swearingen, and England is still a small-town law firm that has the people and the knowledge to help the area's small businesses and families in need. Our experienced attorneys can handle a wide spectrum of legal needs, from family and divorce law to estate planning to criminal matters to many aspects of state licensing and regulation. Bryden, Swearingen, and England. Contact them today at brydenlaw.com.
Beautiful lawns in Jefferson City, Columbia, and the Lake of the Ozarks. Brought to you by Central Missouri Turf Management. Painstaking professionals, the finest quality products for residential and commercial properties, locally owned, family operated. Call Central Missouri Turf Management for a free estimate at 573-634-2231 or online at cmtmi.com.
I know a place where beautiful lawns begin. Central Missouri Turf.
Midmo Sports Online, bringing you the sights and sounds of sports in mid-Missouri, presents the Tobin's Towing Blair Oaks High School Football Game of the Week. The Game of the Week is brought to you by Tobin's Towing of Jefferson City. Need a tow? Call Tobin's at 573-690-6161. This game is also brought to you by Tim Van Ronslin, attorney at law, Chemna Collision Repair, Pizza House of Wardsville, Westphalia, St. Martin, and now Jefferson City, Ready Pop Gourmet Popcorn and Snacks, Farmer Companies, Big Whiskies, Dwayne Springer with Mossy Oak Properties, and by Bryden, Swearingen in England, The Green Button, George Gonzalez, your Edward Jones advisor in Jefferson City, Central Missouri Turf Management Incorporated, Verslois Construction. High school football and Midmo Sports Online is also brought to you by Cole County Eastern District Commissioner Jeff Helscher, A1 Party and Event Rental, Luke Samboni Bobcat Services, The 109 Group, Kim Kliegel with J. Bloom Jewelry, Lisa Taylor, your Associated Real Estate Group Realtor, Skyline Exterior, and the law offices of Dotson and Waters. And now, Blair Oaks Falcons football on Midmo Sports Online.
With Ed Canese, I'm Dick Aldrich back at the Falcon Athletic Complex in Wardsville. We're at halftime of tonight's homecoming game between the Blair Oaks Falcons and the Hallsville Indians, and the Blair Oaks Falcons lead it by the score of 28-6. And coming onto the field right now, members of the 2004 Blair Oaks Falcons state championship team in Class 2. And a great number, several of them are back here tonight to be recognized on this homecoming, as the Falcons won that ball game 27-26 in the game we'll never forget at the Dome in St. Louis. Couple quick scores before we head to statistics. At halftime, all these games are at halftime. Jefferson City leads Columbia Battle 10-7. Capital City over Camdenton 14-7 at halftime. Helias bombing Sedalia 48-0 at halftime. Also at half, Boonville over Versailles 35-0. Osage over Southern Boone 24-0 at halftime. Eldon and California are tied at 13, and St. Francis Borgia leading Vianney 14-10. And scoreboard services brought to you by BlueMonkeyOnline.com. BlueMonkeyOnline.com. All your scores, and we'll have them for you throughout the evening. We'll also check in with you tomorrow morning on the Saturday scoreboard. Those scores, once again, provided by BlueMonkeyOnline.com. online. Go to BlueMonkeyOnline.com. And here's Ed Canice. Ed?
Thanks, Dick. For the Hallsville Indians, they won the statistical battle, easy enough to say, in the first half. They had 11 first downs in that first half. Braden Matheny, the quarterback, 26 out of 45 passing for 207 yards, 1 touchdown, no interceptions. He was sacked twice. He completed 57.8% of his passes. The leading receivers for the Indians in that first half, Dalvin Smith, 6 catches for 37 yards, a 6.2 average, no touchdowns. His longest was 10. Aiden Zadrowski caught 3 for 12 yards. That's a 4-yard average per catch, no touchdowns. His longest was 7. Isaac Stinson, he caught 7 for 106 yards, more than anyone else for the Indians in that first half, an average of 15.1 yards per catch. He has 1 touchdown. His longest was a 45-yard reception. The leading receiver, Gabe Jenkins, has 8 for 35 yards. That's a 4.4 average, no touchdowns. His longest was 7. 207 yards on 26 receptions. That's an average of 8 yards per catch, 1 touchdown by Stinson, and Stinson's 45-yard reception is the longest so far of the night for the Indians. Running the football, well, the Indians didn't do much of that. Only rushed 6 times for 24 yards. Braden Matheny, the quarterback, was 5 attempts for 25 yards, an average of 5 yards a carry. No touchdowns. His longest was 15. Wyatt Morris ran once for a negative yard. So that's a -1 yard per carry average, and that, of course, would be his longest, no touchdown. So 24 yards rushing on 6 rushing attempts. That's an average of 4 yards per carry, no touchdowns. And Matheny with the longest run of the night, 15 yards. 207 yards in the air with 24 on the ground. That's 231 yards, the total offense for the Indians in the first half. For the Falcons, they had 7 first downs in the first half. Tyler Bax was only attempted 6 passes. He completed 4 of them for 56 yards, no touchdowns. He did throw that interception near the end of the first half, and he was not sacked in the first half. He's completed 66.7% of his passes. Jet Currett has 2 receptions for 26 yards, an average of 13 yards a catch, no touchdowns. His longest was 14. Brady Dapkus caught 1 for 21 yards. Hayden Lackman caught the other pass for 9 yards. So 56 yards on 4 receptions. That's an average of 14 yards per catch. No touchdown receiving so far tonight for the Falcons, which is a little unusual. And Dapkus with a 21-yard reception, the longest catch of the night by a Blair Oaks Falcon. Running the football, the Falcons, that's where they usually shine. Tyler Bax has 53 yards on 6 rushing attempts for an average of 8.8 yards per carry. No touchdowns. His longest run was 20. Hayden Lackman has 21 yards on 5 rushing attempts, an average of 4.2 per carry, but he has 2 rushing touchdowns. His longest run of the night, 7 yards. Brady Dapkus has rushed only 3 times, but he has picked up 65 yards. That's a 21.7 yard average, 1 touchdown, and it was a dandy, a 53-yarder, as he took the handoff, got around left end, and went untouched the rest of the way, about 40 yards on that run. Once he turned it up, 45 yards on that run, and he made it all the way 53 yards. So 139 yards rushing on 14 rushing attempts for the Falcons. That's an average of 9.9 per carry. 3 rushing touchdowns, 2 by Lackman, 1 by Dapkus, and Dapkus with a 53-yarder, the longest run from scrimmage. 139 on the ground, 56 in the air. That's 195 yards of total offense for the Falcons, considering they only had 20 offensive plays to 51.
Wow.
You said at one point in the first quarter, Dick, that Matheny had 19. Was time to go in the first quarter. He had already 19 passing attempts, and I said at the time, the way he's going to hit 80. And right now he's on pace. If the Cardinals, if the Falcons, wrong birds, if the Falcons don't score a couple of touchdowns to get to the running clock situation, if this game just plays out regular time. He's on a way to get 90 attempts, which he's going to have one tired arm. They're going to have to soak that thing in ice after the rest of the night.
This is a very interesting situation for Hallsville. Most of their skilled players are juniors and seniors, and as I said at one point during the ball game, their linemen they have 1 senior lineman, and everybody else is basically freshmen and sophomores. So it's going to be an interesting thing to watch how this program evolves with a very young core of linemen and players up front, and then they have to develop other players to come in behind. Right now they're doing what they have to do to stay in ball games, which is to throw the ball around, get the ball to their talented players as much as possible and as quickly as possible, because you can see that once Matheny doesn't really have a chance to go through a progression, he goes back, he throws quickly, and if he doesn't have the time to throw quickly, then he starts to run around, and once he starts to run around, then you've kind of solved the puzzle, because he will sling the ball. And sometimes, and most of the times, he'll sling it out of bounds, but sometimes he'll sling it to the defensive players.
Yeah, well, or as he has done a couple times, he's just thrown it. Looks like he's just throwing it up for grabs, but one of his receivers comes down with it. But I think as we see this over the next couple of years, as we see the offensive line for Hallsville mature, get a little older, get more experience, I think we'll see them go back to a little bit more of have a little bit more running in their game. But right now they can't be running because they would just the few times they did run, really their running attack tonight has been two big runs, like a 15 and a 13-yard run by Matheny, and everything else has been like 1 yard, 2 yards, loss of a yard kind of a thing. They really haven't tried that much. But the Falcons, it's really kind of weird because the Falcons have been on defense for most of the first half, and they've at times looked a little shaky, but usually it's kind of like they're playing that old rubber band defense. They've been bending. They really only broke once, but it's mainly that if the defense can slow Hallsville down so they don't score too quickly, make them drive the length of the field, even if they are throwing passes every down, because the passes are like, they're only connected on about, 2 out of every 3, or even less than that, because he's only hitting about 45% of his passes, but Matheny is. But if they can keep that offense on the field and keep them driving, because there's been, what would you say, 4 delay of game penalties already? They ran out of timeouts in the first quarter. And, if they were able to get back in this game and, if they didn't clean that aspect of their game up, they could be in big trouble, down the stretch toward the end. However, the Falcons do what they do best. They get the ball on offense outside of the one turnover on downs when backs ran it, came up about 1.5 yards short, or the interception. But basically they get the ball, they move down the field, zip, 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 run, couple of passes, and they're in the end zone. So we'll see how it plays out. The Falcons will get the ball to start the half, which, that'll be nice if they can go down, get a nice drive, put points on the board. They wouldn't be into a running clock situation then. They'd just be a little closer. They would need another touchdown to do that, but they are, for a homecoming game, they haven't played badly. It's just that we haven't seen the Falcon offense that much to really sit there and go, yeah, they're just killing them. But if you look at it, they sort of are, because they're not taking much time running down the field and getting points on the board. And, of course, special teams always, as Coach LePage always says, and I think he even said in the pregame interview with you, how big special teams are. And we see that again tonight with they tried the onside kick. Jackson Engelbrecht, homecoming king, he celebrated by picking it up on the bounce and running it back 55 yards for a touchdown. And it's just one of those things. We're going to see what happens tonight. The Falcons look to be in good shape, but this is one of those games where if the Indians hit a couple of long passes, they could be right back in this, and then the Falcons are sweating a little bit more in the fourth quarter, which they normally haven't had to do this year or even in years past. Usually they're pretty much, when the fourth quarter rolls around, they've got the game well in hand. But we'll see what happens as they're lining up. They're getting ready for the kickoff. Engelbrecht is up at the 40, and since they onside kick it, they've got everybody up. In fact, the deepest man is at the Falcon 29.
So this Kemna Collision Repair second half kickoff. Getting ready. Jack Wooden will do the honors. He kicks it, onside kick. The ball will roll out of bounds across the sidelines over around the 47-yard line of Blair Oaks, and the Falcons will take over first down and 10. By the way, the homecoming queen crowned at halftime tonight is Maddie Jones. Maddie Jones is the homecoming queen, and Jackson Engelbrecht, as we said, is the homecoming king. So the Falcons will take over first down and 10 from the 47-yard line.
47, 46.
Well, let's see.
Well, now they got the stick set up
because they got a penalty that they're going to mark off for the ball going out of bounds.
So the ball went out of bounds at the 46, a 5-yard walk-off. They will set the ball down at the 49 of Hallsville. So again, Hallsville gives the Falcons great field position to start off this second half.
First down and 10 for the Falcons from the 48-yard line. Backs pulls it out, runs it around the left side. He may be gone. 35-30. Great block. Great 30, lead. 25, 20, 15, 10, 5. Oh, they're going to call a penalty and bring it back at the 30-yard line. Dapkus wiped out a man here at the 35-yard line, and the official threw the flag, and he's going to call holding, even though it was a great block. It was a fantastic block here at the 30-yard line.
And the nice thing is Backs showed he had nimble feet as he kind of danced around it, did a little leap over it. But this is coming back, which is a shame.
They're going to give Backs, got to give Backs a 9-yard run on that to the 40-yard line at any rate. So first down.
So at least it's not like they are behind the sticks. But this is what the Falcons look for them to do. They don't really have a need to put it up too much unless they just want to mix it up a bit.
Backs hands to Lackman on first and short, and Lackman's going to get the first down just inside the 40-yard line to the 39 and give Hayden a gain of 2 yards and a first down.
Hayden Lackman doesn't have the big yardage statistics like he's had the last few weeks, but he's gotten the tough yards tonight, and most importantly, he's been able to sniff out that end zone when they get down close.
On first down, backs quickly to the left sidelines, has Engelbrecht. He turns up the field, breaks a tackle, and they say he's out of bounds inside the 30 at the 27-yard line.
But it's still enough for another first down for the Falcons.
12-yard gain and a first down.
I know the Falcons, you can see they're ready to, when they get that ball and turn upfield, if they think they're clear, they're going to try and take it to the house every time. Just got a tootsie out of bounds on that play.
Here goes Lackman on first down as Hallsville is ready for him there, and they wrap him up. A very short gain on the play, maybe only a gain of 1. Right now, the Blair Oaks line not really getting things done on the inside run game is Wyatt Morris on the tackle there for Hallsville.
They've cooled down. They're not in that good rhythm.
And they got to get back into rhythm. Second down and 9 now. They send 3 receivers wide to the right side. Dapkus in the wing, or Lackman in the wing to the left. He moves across the formation to the right. His backs rolls to the right. Wants to throw a wide open man over there, stumbling and staggering out of bounds. It's going to be a first down, and I think that's Jet Kerwitt who got the catch.
Jet Kerwitt with his 3rd catch of the night.
Gain of 9 yards on the play.
And they're going to say he went out of bounds just short of the first down marker, so it'll be 3rd and very short, probably less than a yard actually.
Falcons up 28-6, 10:47 to go, third quarter. Falcons with the first drive of the second half. Backs rolling to his left on 3rd and short. Now he throws back to his right. Lackman's got blockers down the sidelines to the 10 to the 5. Touchdown, Falcons! Hayden Lackman into the end zone from 18 yards out, and the Falcons are back on the scoreboard with 10:38 to go in the third quarter. Falcons 34 and Hallsville 6. Nice play design that time. They ran everybody to the left, and Backs then turned around and threw it to the right. Had a screen out in front of Lackman, and Lackman takes it the final 18 yards for the touchdown. On to attempt the extra point is Laughlin out of the hold of Engelbrecht. And the snap is back. The ball is down. The kick is up. It's high. It's long. And it is good. 10:38 to go, third quarter. Blair Oaks 35 and Hallsville 6. And you're watching Blair Oaks Falcons football on MidmoSportsOnline.com. It's brought to you by Tobin's Towing, who will return to the Falcon Athletic Complex in Wardsville after this timeout.
it's not just experience and reputation that sets Dodson and Waters apart, but also their knowledge of the local legal system. They go the extra mile with every case because they know it's your future at stake. Maybe you need help navigating the systems of life, either buying a home or starting a business. Or it could be that you're in a difficult situation and need someone to fight for you. Wherever life takes you, know that you can count on Dodson and Waters for expert guidance and support. At Dodson and Waters, they say, your case, your future, our fight. Set up a free consultation today at dodsonwaters.com.
6 plays, 49 yards, 1 minute, 22 seconds. Hayden Lackman caps the drive. An 18-yard touchdown catch. Played out after touchdown good. 10:38 to play in the third quarter. Blair Oaks 35 and Hallsville 6 on MidmoSportsOnline.com. And that is your Tim Van Ronsen, attorney at law, scoring drive summary as Laughlin kind of plays a short kick game that time, gets it down to the 25-yard line, and picking it up and falling down with it is Preston Pruskasil, a senior, making his first play of the night.
Yeah, Preston picked it up at the 20-yard line, ran 5 yards, and said, I'm going to sit down right here.
Yep.
Which was not a bad idea.
Get the ball back to the offense's hands as they come out on the field, led by Braden Matheny, the senior quarterback, who's thrown the ball 45 times in the first half. But you have to hand it to him. Not many teams have gotten 45 offensive plays against the Blair Oaks Falcons this year.
Or 200 yards.
Yes.
Total,
at all. Jackson Sneller, senior, comes on as Nilgis has some blood on his leg and needed to come out. So on first down, quick screen pass, left side, and it goes to Stinson, and Stinson is piled up and thrown back. A short gain on the play, maybe out to the 27 if they are generous, as Wyatt Libbert was over there on the tackle for the Falcons along with a lot of his buddies, and a gain of 2 yards on the play.
Well, one thing we've always noticed over the years, Dick, and following the Falcons is that with Ted LePage as your head coach, the Falcons have always been very good about at making those halftime adjustments. So we'll see if they've done anything to tighten up that secondary here in the second half.
On 2nd and 8, Matheny retreats to pass. Throws the ball down the middle this time, crossing pattern. It's dropped. It was in the hands of Zadrowski, but he couldn't hang on. And there's a good thing that the Falcons are doing, and they have slowed some of their receivers down for Hallsville. Some of the receivers are beginning to kind of look around now as they come across the middle. You got to pop them when you got the chance.
Exactly, and I think that one pop they put on Gabe Jenkins where he had to leave the field, that might have gotten the attention of a few.
Yeah, Gabe Jenkins has not returned since he was sandwiched in the middle of the field, and his head snapped back. 3 receivers wide to the right, blocking back to the right of the quarterback, Matheny, and it's Stinson by himself over on the left side on the 3rd and long. Matheny back to pass. Here comes the rush. He runs out to the left. He's got running room if he wants it, and he does, and he's knocked down. Good play made by the Falcons. They had a spy over there, and that was Jay Schwinnard, who made a really nice play. Got Matheny in the open field and rolled him out of bounds, and Matheny only picked up about a yard on the play.
Jace made a good play in that he kind of cut off the outside or the route for Matheny to cut it back inside, and basically just trapped him between the himself and the sideline, and Matheny really had no place to go.
4th down and 7 for Hallsville. Let's see what they're going to do here as they move Wyatt Morris, the blocking back, over to the left side of Matheny. And Matheny's going to back up, and he's going to throw it. And he is he's going to be chased out. Man pulled down in the backfield. Penalty flags all over the place. They get it to Stinson for a first down, but this is coming back as Lubering had broken through, and he was just pulled down by one of the blockers for Hallsville. Holding against Hallsville. The white hat threw a flag, and the linesman on this near side threw a flag as well. It was that obvious.
Yes.
They just grabbed him by the shoulder pads and pulled him down.
Protect the quarterback, they say.
At all costs.
Exactly.
Clock is stopped with 9:33 to go. Third quarter, Falcons up 35-6, and it looks like Hallsville is now going to be in the punting situation.
Yeah, the ball's moved back inside their 20 to about the 19, so they're looking at a 4th and 16 or so.
And a ball that maybe goes 5 feet off the ground and wobbles up the floor, up the field.
I thought it got blocked for a minute because it was like, where did that ball go?
It went through a forest of players, and it came out the other side and goes dead at the 42-yard line of Blair Oaks, and that's where the Falcons will take it over. First down and 10 with 9:23 to go in the third quarter. Falcons lead it by the score of a 35-6.
Nice defensive stand by the Falcons. And it does look like they came out with a little bit different game plan in order to take on Hallsville in that.
So a first down and 10 for the Falcons, as it is Lackman in the wing to the left side. Engelbrecht out wide left. Now Lackman's going to go out to the slot on the left side, and Dapkus is going to come in motion to the left side. And Dapkus is cut down. Faked inside, then went back outside. Probably should have kept on the inside track.
I think he should have.
As he has legs cut out from under him by Carter Geisler.
Looks like they're going to mark it for no gain.
Dapkus, no gain on the play. 4 carries now for 65 yards for Brady. Of course, he had a 53-yarder the first time he touched the ball tonight. Second down and 10. Lackman in the slot to the left side. 3 receivers wide right. Dapkus in motion to the left. Backs wants to throw. Looks left. Now rolls right. Backs trying to get to the corner. Throws on the run. And it is caught down the field. That's Vander Halford with the catch. His first catch of the season.
Welcome back, Vander Halford.
15 yards and a first down for Vander Halford, the sophomore. Also our punter and also the backup quarterback. It's really good to get him back. As Bax goes over 100 yards passing
now
for the night.
Now we got officials timeout here. We got a
Hallsville man has to come off. I think he's got some blood.
Yeah.
As that was Carter Geisler who goes off, and coming in for the Indians is 23 Brody Brown, another sophomore. Very young football team for Hallsville. They move Dapkus in motion off to the left side as Bax rolls to his left on first down. Looking, throws the ball deep down the middle. There. Wide open as Engelbrecht. He caught it! But did he hang on? No, he didn't. Oh! Jackson Engelbrecht had it in his hands, and he was just juggling it as he went through the end zone and couldn't pull it in tightly, or else that would have been a very long touchdown.
Jackson had a good 10 yards, it looked like, on the nearest defender.
Yeah, he was wide open, and the ball was just a little bit overthrown. Jackson got it in his hands, but he could not pull it in, and the pass is going to be ruled incomplete. Ball never did hit the ground, but Jackson really didn't pull it in until he was well out of the end zone. Second down at 10. Boy, Bax threw that beautiful
nice
ball. Oh, my. On second down, Bax back to pass. Rolls out to his left, sets, throws, has a leaping catch made by Dapkus at the 20 as he pulls outside and pulls tacklers inside the 20 down to the 17-yard line. 27 yards on the completion. As Brady Dapkus catches his second pass of the night. First and 10 for the Falcons from the Hallsville 13-yard line. Bax looks left, throws the ball quickly. Nice kneeling catch made by Engelbrecht inside the 10 down at the 7-yard line. And a gain of about
looks like 9 yards.
Yeah.
So the ball is down at about the 8.
Yep, line of scrimmage is the 8-yard line. Bax takes the ball, keeps it up the middle. He's going to put his head down and runs his way into the end zone. Ran over a man at the goal line and scored. Touchdown, Falcons.
I don't think Tyler considers that he's actually played a game unless he's trucked a defender.
He put his head down, rolled the man over on his back. And the Falcons lead at 41-6, and the running clock shall commence shortly. So Bax into the end zone for the first time tonight as Laughlin on to attempt the extra point. Out of the hold of Engelbrecht. Snap is back, ball is down, the kick is up, it's high, it's long, and it is good. 7:53 to go, third quarter. Blair Oaks 42, Hallsville 6 on MidmoSportsOnline.com. You're watching the Blair Oaks Falcons Game of the Week, brought to you by Tobin's Towing, and we'll return to the Falcon Athletic Complex in Wardsville after this timeout.
The Farmer Companies of Jefferson City. Over more than 80 years, Farmer has become a leader in building materials, logistics, and real estate worlds. These young athletes in tonight's game know that to become the best takes time, dedication, and a tireless work ethic. The values we share make Farmer Companies proud to help bring you tonight's game. If you would like to become a part of a family-owned, forward-thinking leader, Come check us out online at farmercompanies.com. Farmer Companies of Jefferson City. Come grow with us.
6 plays, 58 yards, a minute, 30 seconds. Tyler Back's 8-yard touchdown run. The point after touchdown by Laughlin is good, and Laughlin kicks the ball through the end zone. And that will be the touchback. And the Falcons now lead it by the score of 42-6 with 7:53 to go in the third quarter. And that is your Tim Van Ronselen scoring drive summary on MidmoSportsOnline.com. Dick Aldrich with Ed Kniest. Homecoming Friday at Blair Oaks High School at Wardsville. Get ready to hit the road next week to wrap up the regular season, taking on the Southern Boone Eagles. Eagles getting clocked by Osage at halftime, 24-0 last time we checked. They'll be in no mood to see the Blair Oaks Falcons next week.
They never are.
First down and 10 for Hallsville from their own 20-yard line. Yes, Blair Oaks has never lost to Southern Boone.
We keep saying that, and we're going to jinx them.
Yeah, that's for sure. Matheny way back to pass, throws the ball underneath. A juggling catch is made, and that's Dalvin Smith. He got to the 25. The ball came out late. I believe they're going to say that he was down, though, out at the 25-yard line. Tried to set a little middle screen that time, and the pass was not quite as accurate as they wanted it to be, and Smith had to make a juggling catch and rolled out for about a 5-yard gain.
Chillicothe in the fourth quarter continues to lead Odessa 12-3, that game in Chillicothe. And in the fourth quarter, Osage up 38-7 over Southern Boone, that game at School of the Osage.
Pass interference is going to be called against Hallsville, offensive pass interference. So they kind of got out and started blocking a little bit early. It looks like they're on the middle screen. So they're going to have a half a distance to the goal penalty here, back to the 11-yard line.
Well, the team, you figure they're a young team, at least the line is, so maybe they'll learn these things will be better.
Yeah, this is a team for the future, that's for sure. On first down and long, Matheny with a turnout pattern to the left side. It's incomplete. So he tried to throw it to the numbers, and he was looking for the wide receiver that time, and that was Lawson Burks.
And another Tri-County Conference score for you here. In the fourth quarter, over in California, the Pintos are hosting the Eldon Mustangs, a battle of the horses tonight. And it's California 27-20 over Eldon, that in the fourth quarter.
Boy, Eldon has really hit some hard times.
And our old friends Maryville, they travel to Savannah tonight, and they're trailing the Savages 28-7 in the third quarter.
Second down and about 20 now as they swing a pass out to the left side. Gabe Jenkins got hit first, and then he got hit again. A penalty flag comes in. I think we're going to have a hold against Hallsville here, as the Falcons were all over that little screen out to the left side. And making the tackle there for the Falcons looks like is Warren Davis. Penalties declined. Loss on the play for Aiden Zadrowski, make it number 18. He lost a couple of yards on the play.
At this point, the Falcons just want to, they don't want to give them any more downs.
So it's third down, and see what they're going to say. Third down and 19 now. Line of scrimmage is the 11-yard line of Hallsville. Matheny tried to get Blair Oaks to jump. Now they're just wanting the play clock to run down as they get under 5. Matheny takes a snap, retreats near his end zone. He's being chased. He runs out to his left. He's being chased again. Schwinnard's after him. He hits him as he throws. The ball is high, and it is nearly caught. And it's caught! Tipped! Dalvin Smith may score on this. Dalvin Smith to the 10, and he's pulled down by Shea Linhart at the 4-yard line.
That's the craziest play I've ever seen.
Matheny just chucked it, and as we said he would, and the ball was deflected off about 3 sets of hands, and Dalvin Smith just happened to be standing behind the secondary, caught it, and nearly scored.
Well, the thing is, there was a receiver, a Falcon leveled a receiver about the 30. I was looking for a flag on that.
So it's 84 yards on the catch and run. That was just, that's just luck. He just threw the ball as far as he could. It somehow stayed in bounds, and it was tapped. And Dalvin Smith got it behind the secondary, so Hallsville's going to call a timeout here as they're going to have it first and goal with 5:07 to go in the third quarter.
They got to catch their breath.
Trailing 42-6 on MidmoSportsOnline.com. Dick Aldrich along with Ed Kniest from the Falcon Athletic Complex in Wardsville, where the Falcons have seen Hallsville run up and down the field tonight, but Hallsville has not been able to complete their drives. The Falcons have been able to complete their drives. They haven't had that many of them, and they've put the ball in the end zone on all but 2 of their drives here this evening. And the other time they threw an interception, and the other time they gave the ball over on downs deep in Hallsville territory. So Blair Oaks has been efficient on offense, and again the defense hasn't been the greatest.
They've bent, but they haven't truly broken.
Mm-hmm.
And taking a look at some other scores from mid-Missouri over at Atkins Stadium in the third quarter, the Battle Spartans versus the Jefferson City Jays, and that game's all tied up at 13 apiece. And right now in the third quarter down in Camdenton, the Capital City Cavaliers up 21-7 over the Camdenton Lakers.
Very important game there for Capital City. So here we go, first down goal to go from the 4-yard line. Matheny with a blocking back in front of him to the left. Tight formation this time, single receiver to the right. Matheny's going to try to keep it himself, and the Falcons cut him down. Gain of a yard, maybe. As the Falcon middle of the line steps up to make the tackle, looks like it was James Roddeman leading the tacklers there for the Falcons. And a gain of a yard from Matheny.
And also across town at Rackers Stadium,
that's actually Hench's Stadium.
Hench's, I'm sorry. I was thinking of the field house. I almost said Rackers Field House. Duh. Okay, so anyway, Helias is hosting Sedalia Smith Cotton, and it's all Helias tonight, 48-0 at the half over the Tigers from Sedalia Smith Cotton.
Second down and goal to go from about the 3-yard line. Matheny with Morris behind him. They turn and they pitch it to Morris. Tries it over left side, and he gets the snow plowed down. No gain there.
Yeah, I was going to say he didn't look like he got anywhere.
Lubring leading the tacklers for the Falcons. Also, Aiden Luckett there, and no gain on the play for Morris. As the Lubring family reacts to hearing their boy's name mentioned.
Yeah.
So the clock continues to run with 3:58 to go in the third quarter. Falcons leading 42-6. Hallsville trying to smash it in here from the 4-yard line. Third down, goal to go from the 4. Matheny with Morris to his left. This time they spread the formation. Matheny sends Morris over to the right. Matheny looking to pass. Turnout in the end zone, touchdown. And right on cue and right on time, it was Isaac Stinson with his second touchdown catch of the night, that time from 4 yards out. And that will stop the running clock with 3:38 to go in the third quarter. And Blair Oaks leading 42-12. As Matheny goes over 300 yards passing on the night. On his 53rd pass of the evening. You knew sometime they would have to throw the football. They weren't getting anywhere running with it.
Yeah, they tried 2 runs, and that was too many, I think, for them.
So going for the 2-point conversion as usual. They have lined up in a swinging gate previously, but they are in a formation with 3 receivers to the right side as Matheny rolls to his right, and he's looking to throw the ball into the end zone, into the back of the end zone, knocked away by the Falcons. Falcons did well to cover that time, had everybody over on the left side of the defense, and with 3:38 to go in the third quarter, it's the Blair Oaks Falcons 42 and Hallsville 12 on MidmoSportsOnline.com. We will return to the Falcon Athletic Complex after this timeout. You're watching Blair Oaks Falcons football, brought to you by Tobin's Towing. We'll return after this.
Am I saving enough for retirement? Am I able to retire now? What can I do to make things easier on my loved ones in the future? All the important questions, and George Gonzalez, your Edward Jones financial advisor in Jefferson City, can help you find the answers. George says the time to ask those questions is now. He'll sit down with you for a complimentary consultation to explain the Edward Jones process and answer any questions you may have. Air Force veteran George Gonzalez loves his community and would do anything to be a blessing to it. Find him today at edwardjones.com or call 573-634-3103.
That was a 6-play, 80-yard drive, 4 minutes, 15 seconds. Isaac Stinson, 4-yard touchdown catch, 2-point conversion, no good. 3:38 to play in the third quarter. And it's the Blair Oaks Falcons 42, Hallsville 12 on MidmoSportsOnline.com. That is your Tim Van Runselen scoring drive summary as Dapkus takes the onside kick and returns it out to about the midfield stripe. And that's where the Falcons will put it into play. First down and 10. So Hallsville got out of a hole with a miracle catch and run and got the touchdown. So now the Falcons will look to continue the offensive onslaught and a penalty against the Falcons.
A hold, I'd imagine.
Yep, looks like a hold.
Foul?
No.
Oh, no, okay. I thought he was going to go further than 10 yards.
So from the 39-yard line, first down and 10 for the Falcons.
And that game, that Helias-Sedalia game, it is now in the fourth quarter. Helias up 48-0.
Either there's a lot of holding going on tonight or these guys see a lot of holding that we haven't seen previously. There's been a lot of flags tonight. On first down, they move Dapkus off to the left side. Swing pass left side. Dapkus with some running room. Now cuts back inside to the 45. Dives forward. He's going to be close to the first down. Out across the 45 to the 48 of Hallsville. And it's going to be just short of the first down. So give Dapkus a gain of 9 yards. Falcons right back up to the line of scrimmage as they go from right to left. Ball on the near hash mark here in the third quarter of play. Lackman moves into the backfield, and on first and second and long, there goes backs around the right side. 35-30, 25-20, and he is pulled out of bounds inside the 20-yard line. They'll mark him down at the 15-yard line. So give him a gain of 37 yards on that play. And he goes over 100 yards rushing here tonight. 9 carries, 107 yards now for Tyler Bax. First and 10 for the Falcons from the 15 of Hallsville, from the far hash mark. Bax got Hallsville to jump.
There's a free 5. We got a final in from that Cardinal Ritter to Smet game. Ritter was up at the half, and they ended up walking away with that game 28-3.
Over to Smet. Wow.
Over to Smet.
That's a powerful
and here's a tight one from Southwest Missouri. Carthage on the road in Webb City. Carthage defeats the Webb City Cardinals 14-13.
I think that's the third loss of the season for Webb City. At least.
They won't know what to do.
First down.
They don't usually get that many losses.
First down and 5 now for the Falcons. I believe there was a penalty on that last play as they got a man to jump. Swing pass left side goes to Dapkus. He'll go in untouched. Touchdown, Falcons. Tyler Bax just straightened up and threw the pass out to Dapkus, who was in motion, and there was nobody going with him, and a hold against the Falcons.
Oh.
Holding penalty against the Falcons.
They just called it?
Yep. They just now called the penalty. As these guys think they're getting paid by the hour.
I guess.
Either, there's some phantom stuff going on out there, or the Falcons
maybe they
have held a lot more than they ever have.
Or maybe I don't know.
The holding penalty was at the 1-yard line, so it moves back to the 11. So it's first down and 5 again for the Falcons. They move Lackman in motion off to the right side. Rolling to the right is Tyler Bax. Throws, has a man open down near the goal line. He is pulled out of bounds. This is going to be enough for the first down. As over there on the sidelines, believe that was Jackson Engelbrecht. Nope, Jet Kerwitt.
Jet Kerwitt's having a nice night tonight. That's about 4 or 5 catches for Jet.
So a 9-yard gain and a first down for the Falcons. And Bax by himself in the backfield. First down and goal to go from the 2. They move Lackman back there, and Bax pulls it out, throws it left wing to Dapkus, and Dapkus is going to dive into the end zone for the touchdown.
Well, he figured Brady got cheated out of that 1 touchdown pass reception, so he wanted to make sure he got one tonight.
2-yard reception for Brady Dapkus, and with 2:38 to play in the third quarter, Falcons go up by the score of a 48-12, and the restart of the mercy rule. Running clock will commence after the extra point by Nolan Laughlin. Set a nice little screen over there for Dapkus, and he took it in. As Laughlin on to attempt the extra point. Snap back ball down. The kick is up. It's high, it's long, and it is good. 2:38 to play, third quarter. Blair Oaks 49 and Hallsville 12 on MidmoSportsOnline.com. We'll return to the Falcon Athletic Complex after this timeout. You're watching Blair Oaks Falcons football, brought to you tonight and every Friday night by Tobin's Towing. We'll return after this timeout.
You just need a little help with that sewing project that you need to do, but it's a little more than you can handle. That's where Ann Dooley and the Green Button come in. Ann's a great seamstress who's been in the alterations business for more than 2 decades. A little help with a hem? Take it by the Green Button. A little out here, a little in there? Take it to Ann at the Green Button. And while you're there, take a look around at the historic storefront. Check out Ann's unique creations and say hi to Sparky the Cat. That's the Green Button on the Echo Corner. Dunklin and Jefferson, Old Munichburg, Jefferson City.
4 plays, 61 yards, 56 seconds. Brady Dapkus caps the drive, a 2-yard touchdown catch. Point after touchdown was good, and with 2:38 to go in the third quarter, the Blair Oaks Falcons lead the Hallsville Indians by the score of 49-12, and that is your Tim Van Ronselen, attorney at law, scoring drive summary on MidmoSportsOnline.com, and the penalty flags continue to rain down. As another one comes from the back judge from behind the play on this return by Jack Wooden. And, I've been seeing reports of games where there have been this year of 20 to 25 penalties, and I think we've got one of those crews here tonight.
Yeah.
They're calling everything they see here this evening.
Yeah.
And that ball will be marked back at the 12-yard line following the holding penalty against Hallsville. They're also stuck on that holding penalty.
Yeah, maybe they got in trouble and they were told to look for holding this week. I don't know. But we got the Battle of Providence Avenue up in Columbia tonight. Hickman traveled south to Rockbridge, and they're going to wish they hadn't. Rockbridge is up 52-0, that in the third quarter. Rockhurst is down in the third quarter at home to Liberty North. That's 10-6.
Pass out to the left side, incomplete. As they tried a little quick turn-in route out there to the receiver on the left side, and he's staying down. As Shea Linhart planted the receiver, and that might be Isaac Stinson. Yep, that is Isaac Stinson. He got planted over there. And he's staying down, but he's going to get helped up and helped off to the sidelines. Falcons are making Hallsville pay when they get the shots at them.
And I don't think they're completing as many passes as they had been in the first half.
No, he's been a little bit more inconsistent here.
Our old buddies at Warsaw, they're at home tonight taking on Midway, the Midway Vikings. And in the fourth quarter, it's Warsaw 40-0.
5 out of 9 passing now in the second half for Matheny.
His arm got tired. That's still.
He's still at 54 passes for the night.
That's still 54 passes.
On 2nd and 10, Matheny from the 10-yard line looks to throw to the right side this time. Has Zadrowski. He makes a couple of men miss and dives out across the 15 to the 16-yard line. Give him a 6-yard gain. And I'll bring up now a 3rd down and 4.
North Callaway is at home against Van Far, and North Callaway is up 42-22 in the fourth quarter, because it looks like the Thunderbirds are going to win another game.
They've had a good season.
Mm-hmm.
So it'll bring up now a 3rd down and about 5, actually, from the 16-yard line of Hallsville. Minute 20 to go, third quarter. Falcons up 49-12. Back to pass Matheny, guns it out to the left side, and a diving attempt made. The pass came up short and is incomplete as they were looking for Lawson Burks.
And the Russellville Indians were on the road. They traveled down the road about 40 minutes to Tipton to take on the Cardinals, and it's going to be a long ride back to Russellville tonight. Tipton wins that game 60-0.
Tipton, a very powerful team. I believe they're ranked 4th in Class 1. Matheny looks like he's going to punt this ball. And he is, out with the left foot. And again, another about 10-foot punt that is going to roll and roll and roll. And a roll inside Blair Oaks territory down to the 47-yard line. So 1st and 10 for the Falcons as they bring the first string back on with 35 seconds to go in the third quarter. We'll see if the Falcons get a playoff here before the end of the third quarter.
They won't have to, as the play clock hasn't started yet, and they're down to 20 seconds.
So Bax brings them back out on the field. 1st down and 10 from the Blair Oaks 47-yard line. The official standing over the ball. Nobody in much of a hurry to get anything started here. And now we're going to settle in, and the Falcons will get the playoff as they hand off to Dapkus around the left side. He's to the 50, to the 45, 40, to the 35, 30. Trucks a man out of bounds as he's pushed out of bounds inside the 30, right at the 30-yard line. Give him a gain of 13 yards, and that will do it for the third quarter of play. Brady Dapkus finishes off the third quarter with the Blair Oaks Falcons leading the Hallsville Indians by the score of 49-12. You're watching Blair Oaks Falcons football, the game of the week on MidmoSportsOnline.com, and it's brought to you by Tobin's Towing. We'll be right back after this timeout.
Cole County Eastern District Commissioner Jeff Helsher wishes all of the teams in mid-Missouri good luck during this sports season. As a former athlete and coach, Jeff knows the sacrifice and hard work these young athletes put into becoming the best they can be. Jeff also congratulates all the students who are excelling in other extracurricular activities and in the classroom. Eastern District Cole County Commissioner Jeff Helsher says, "Give it your best, give it your all. You make us all proud."
There just aren't a lot of places that make you go wow anymore. And it's certainly not the one-syllable word I used when my car was rear-ended. Where can I take my car for repair that won't disappoint?
Hi, this is Tanner Kemna with Kemna Collision Repair. We do our best to wow you, not with flash or pizzazz, but by doing the job the right way and returning your vehicle to you in pre-accident condition as quickly as possible. Let someone you trust do the job right. KemnaCollision.com.
Kemna Collision Repair.
Fourth quarter getting underway. Blair Oaks Falcons 1st down and 10 from the Hallsville 30-yard line, up 49-12 as Bax goes back to pass, keeps it himself up the middle. He's breaking tackles, spins inside another tackle, dragging tacklers inside the 10, stays on his feet, and is being strummed to the 5. He may go in! He's in for the... No, they say he's down at the 1-yard line. Oh, my goodness. Tyler Bax with the run of the night. Just kept running and running and running, keeping his feet going. And they're going to give him 29 yards. But not 30.
He got over to about the 7-yard line. All of a sudden, it looked like a rugby scrum. Now we got a flag.
I formation of Hallsville couldn't get the man off the field. So it's going to be offside against Hallsville, which is going to move the ball half the distance to the goal line, which means we now got about 6 inches to go for the touchdown.
The St. Genevieve Valley Warriors traveled up the road a bit to go see the Bowling Green Bobcats tonight. And in the fourth quarter, it's Valley 28, Bowling Green 14.
I formation for Blair Oaks. 1st down and goal to go from inside the 1. They hand off to Lackman, and he powers into the end zone for the touchdown. 6 green jerseys in the end zone with Lackman behind him, and the Falcons take a 55-12 lead.
That's Lackman's 3rd rushing touchdown of the night. He also has 1 receiving.
He only has 25 yards rushing, but 3 touchdowns.
Yeah, I like that production.
Laughlin on to attempt the extra point to get it to 56. It's taken a little while, but the Falcons have totally taken control of this game. Snap is back, the ball is down, the kick is up, it's high, it's long, and it is good. 11:09 to go in the fourth quarter. Blair Oaks 56, Hallsville 12 on MidmoSportsOnline.com. We'll return to the Falcon Athletic Complex after this timeout. You're watching Blair Oaks Falcons football on MidmoSportsOnline.com, brought to you by Tobin's Towing.
Lisa Taylor is your full-service realtor in mid-Missouri. Working with Associated Real Estate Group, Lisa can deliver for you whether you're buying or selling. As an independent agent, she joined Associated Real Estate Group because she is passionate about her work and taking care of her clients. Contact Lisa Taylor today at 573-301-8167. Lisa Taylor, Associated Real Estate Group, and Mid-Missouri High School football, a winning combination.
3 plays, 53 yards, minute 26 seconds on the drive. Hayden Lackman, a 1-yard touchdown run, point after touchdown, good. And the Blair Oaks Falcons, with 11:09 to go in the fourth quarter, lead the Hallsville Indians by the score of 56-12 on MidmoSportsOnline.com. And there's a big old gang tackle by the Falcons as they're trying to shake the ball loose from the return man for the Hallsville Indians.
That was Zadrowski.
And Zadrowski, I think, managed to hang on to the ball. I'm not sure what else he hung on to, but the Falcons were all over him.
Hanging on for dear life.
So the Falcons' first string off defense is still out there. I would not expect Hallsville to pull their starters at this point because I really don't know if they have much in the way behind their starters. So we will probably see them throughout the evening. And Blair Oaks starters, frankly, haven't played a full game since really the Southwest game about 3 weeks ago.
We got a score in from up in Centralia. The Centralia Panthers are taking on the Panthers of Palmyra. And in the fourth quarter, Centralia 44-6 over Palmyra.
And another timeout by Hallsville.
Okay.
As the Falcons lead at 56-12 here with 10-12 to go in the fourth quarter. Midmo Sports Online, don't forget on Saturday, we'll have the Saturday scoreboard for you. We'll put that up. That's usually in the wee hours of Saturday morning, so you'll be able to find it when you wake up first thing in the morning. Go to our website at www.midmosportsonline.com. You can also find the links to that on the Facebook page and also on our Twitter page.
Or you could just do what I do and don't go to bed. Sit up and wait for that.
Well, that's what I do. So
well, that's because you're putting it out there.
That's what I'm doing.
And that's a final from up in North Callaway. The Thunderbirds over the Van Far Indians, 42-22. Again, that's a final.
Let's see, Tyler Bax, 13 out of 16 passing with an interception for 167 yards tonight. And very accurate this evening. First down and 10 for Braden Matheny and Hallsville. From the 19-yard line, Matheny under pressure, throws underneath, and it's incomplete. Going for Dalvin Smith. And the Falcons were all over that one as he was trying on the shallow cross pattern. As the coverage man there was the senior Jackson Sneller, who's getting some good action in the last few weeks. 5'7", 750-pounder.
I think Matheny's getting his arms just a little worn out. He's been chucking the pigskin all year long, and it just looks like he can't really get one too far deep.
Not quite as accurate here in the second half for sure. On second down and 10 from the 19-yard line, they turn the hand off, and Morris, oh my goodness, did he get hit. He ran right into Lubring, and Lubring's having a heck of a game tonight.
He might as well turn around and run into the brick wall.
Carson Lubring also in on the stop. It looks like a 45, Zane West in on the tackle.
Got an 8-man score in from up in Pattonsburg, where our old friend Doc Hartley resides. And at the half, the Albany Warriors are up 42-38 over the Pattonsburg Panthers. Now that's 8-man football, so that could end up, 90 to 89.
You gotta love it. You gotta love it. On third down and 11, Matheny with a blocking back to his left. He goes back to pass, slings it underneath, and this is going to be no penalty flag.
Yeah, there was a bump before that. The defender bumped the receiver, but at this point, I think they want to just keep it going.
Brody Brown was the intended receiver, and Sam Klosser, I thought, got there early.
He did get there early.
And
but they didn't call it for some reason. They were calling everything else tonight.
Falcon man down. That's James Rodeman. As it looked like an arm or a shoulder problem, and that shoulder is a problem for Bryson Varner, the All-State defensive end. He's missed the last 2 games now with a shoulder injury. I can kind of get the feeling that we may see him next week at Southern Boone.
Yeah. More scores from around the state. In the fourth quarter, Lamar hosting Aurora, and the Tigers are chewing up the Hound Dogs by a 35-0 score. District information, Knob Nostra at home tonight taking on the Richmond Spartans, and Knob Nostra is up 10-6 in the fourth quarter. Knob Noster is fourth, I think, right?
Yeah, Knob Noster started second last week, but then lost a game to a 3A team, and so now they've dropped back to fourth place, and they're hanging on to fourth place.
And the Owensville Dutchmen are not having a good night. They're down in Sullivan to take on the Eagles, and in the fourth quarter, it's 49-14, Sullivan over the Owensville Dutchmen. St. Francis Borgia's holding on to a 28-17 score in the fourth quarter at home over the Vianney Golden Griffins.
As Rodman comes off the field, he is indeed holding that arm close. He looks to be in quite a bit of pain as he's walked off. Matheny now is back on a 4th and 11. We'll see if he punts this ball out of here, as he's going to let the play clock run down. Play clock at 5, 4, 3. Matheny steps out to his left, kicks it straight up.
That almost got blocked. Might have been even tipped a little.
And he's going to get another great roll this time. It bounces forward and gets inside Blair Oaks territory down at the 45-yard line. First down and 10 for the Falcons. We're going to see Vander Halford now, the backup quarterback for the Blair Oaks Falcons, as the second string comes onto the field. Vander missed the first 5 games of the season with a bad wheel, right leg, hurt during the baseball season. Vander is a sophomore at 6'1", 175 pounds. And now he's going to come in and he'll play wide receiver as Bo Burr, the freshman, is going to take over at quarterback.
Well, that does make sense. Bo's got more reps as the backup quarterback this year.
They move Toby Edler in motion. Burr keeps it himself and pulls it up the middle, and he's out across the 45, almost to the 50-yard line, giving him a gain of 5 yards. 135-pounder and a freshman. He is fearless. He's only 5'7". And speaking of a smaller gentleman, Hudson Meldrum, the sophomore at 5'7", 115, comes in at quarterback, hands to Toby Edler around the near side, and this guy's got some speed. And he is pulled out of bounds on the bench. Penalty flags come raining in from everywhere as Edler was hit late out of bounds.
Edler went out of bounds around inside the 30. No, he went out inside the 40 at about the 48, and he was yanked down way out of bounds around the 32-yard line.
So give him a gain of 10 yards and then add the penalty on.
And got a score from up in the North Country. The Mexico Bulldogs on the road. They're in Moberly taking on the Spartans, and Mexico is having a tough game here. They're up 13-7 in the third quarter. Got a real battle going up there.
Toby Edler, a sophomore, 6 foot, 185 pounds. The Falcons have it first down and 10 at the 25 of Hallsville following the penalty. And Burr looking to the sidelines as the play clock runs down. We have 6:35 on the game clock, 14 seconds on the play clock, 56-12. Blair Oaks with the lead in the football. And a swing pass out to the left side looking for Edler, and Burr didn't get it there. Pass goes past Toby and incomplete.
And we got a couple of Tri-County Conference finals. The Osage Indians easily defeat the Southern Boone Eagles, 45-7. That game being played at the School of the Osage. And I also have a final here on the Eldon at California game. The California Pintos win one that was a little bit closer than it started out to be.
And here is a swing. Here's a pass down to Halford, and he got it down inside the 20-yard line. And he's going to be very close to a first down on the pass from Meldrum. And let's see where they mark it. They're going to be, say it's a first down. Attaboy. All right.
They're going to give him the first down.
First catch of the season for Vander Halford. And on first down, they hand off around the right side, and Edler is pulled out of bounds again, as maybe got a yard or two inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line.
And just finish up that earlier score I was telling you about. California at home defeats Eldon 33-26.
Whoa. Well, as I said, what happened to Eldon this year?
Yeah,
5 in a row they've lost. On first down, they hand off to Verslois, trying around the left side. Verslois cuts it back to the 5, going to the end zone, and a penalty flag comes in.
And he stayed on his feet.
Verslois scored, but it's coming back. Blair Oaks had the audacity to throw a block on the corner there, and that is always getting called tonight as a hold. Always getting called as a hold.
I guess these officials have never seen a football game.
These guys, we don't want to see them in the playoffs, that's for sure.
No.
They got the Six Stooges out here tonight. So, penalty brings the ball back. Nice run by Carson Versluis, wiped off the map. And about the 19th holding call tonight.
Ball's back at the 19.
Second down, 13. They handoff up the middle, and I think that was Versluis trying to fend off the defenders, and he only got about a yard on the play. First official carry of the night for Carson Versluis.
The Kirksville Tigers shut out the Fulton Hornets 42-0.
4:15 to go in the football game. 18 seconds on the play clock. Falcons have it to third down and about 13 from the Hallsville 19-yard line. It is Meldrum rolling to the right, throwing a pass. A diving catch is made by Halford at the 11-yard line. Give him a gain of 8 yards, but that was nowhere near enough for a first down, so the Falcons will turn it over on downs. So they'll turn the ball over, and Hallsville, well, now wait a minute. This is fourth down.
Yeah, I was going to say, wait a second. I thought it was only fourth down, and they're going to try a field goal.
Yep, Laughlin's going to try a field goal. This will be a 29-yarder for Nolan Laughlin. Let's see if the senior can kick it through on homecoming. Snap is back. It's a low snap,
look
but
at
it's
this.
a fake. Laughlin's going to throw it to the end zone. It's going to be intercepted. Oh, my. Oh, I wish he would have gone ahead and kicked it, but it was an interesting play. Engelbrecht caught the snap, flipped it over his shoulder, and threw the pass, and it was intercepted by Hallsville. Preston Proskasel on the interception, and the Falcons tackled him at the 5-yard line. So, Laughlin doing a little bit of everything his senior year. They let him try a pass, and that time it was intercepted.
He had a man deep in the end zone. He just didn't make a very good pass.
Didn't get enough on it. So Ted LePage goes into his playbook and finds an oldie but a goodie.
Well, he figured he's a senior. We'll give him one shot.
He's had his one shot, and
he'll never get another one.
He'll not get another one, that's for sure. Clock is stopped at 2:20. Well, the clock is running with 2:23.
Yeah.
And Hallsville coming out onto the field.
And the ball, they intercepted it, and they really didn't get much back on that. So so the ball's at the 5-yard line. So
Matheny back in there. And the first string Hallsville offense. Matheny in the end zone. Turns and hands to Wyatt Morris, and Morris gets it out to about the 4. Lost a yard on the play.
Yeah, he was quickly chopped down.
And it was Jay Schwinnard in the backfield making the hit on Morris and dropping him. 4 carries, minus 3 yards for Morris tonight. They'll have 24 yards or so rushing for Hallsville tonight and 306 yards passing so far.
The Savannah Savages lived up to their name as they savaged the Spoof Hounds tonight, 42-14. And Odessa falls 20-10 in Chillicothe.
So Maryville loses for the 3rd time this season. They're coming off a loss to Lutheran North last week. Game that was played in Chillicothe. Penalty flag comes in as a delay of game against Hallsville.
Again.
Minute 13 to go in the ball game.
Stop delaying the game. You got a minute 13 to go.
Goodness say, let's get out of here. What are we doing?
You know, for a game that's been in the turbo clock for a while, this is taking a long time.
Well, and the officials have also called 25 penalties tonight, so
I know
this has delayed the game even further. Well, at least somebody's still engaged. So
they probably got their son is in the game now.
Oh, definitely. Second down and 13. Now clock has started again, and Hallsville trying to get out of town here. They're wanting the clock to run down, and another delay of game. So Hallsville doesn't want to snap the ball again tonight. And they're just going to keep taking delay of game penalties until the clock runs out.
Just kick it. Quick kick it then. This is ridiculous.
So
if you're not going to run a play, snap it and just punt the dang thing.
Hallsville, some of the Hallsville linemen are dancing.
Okay, well, I don't know.
I guess when you're a freshman, you're exuberant. Oh, my.
Meanwhile, they're dancing over at Hench's Stadium. Helias in the fourth quarter up 51-8 over Sedalia.
So that will mean Helias will finish in second place in the CMAC this season.
And Capital City Cavaliers, they're probably dancing down in Camdenton as they're up in the fourth quarter, 28-14.
That's a good score. Yeah, that's a final now. The Capital City game.
Capital City, okay. And that's it. That's it. That's a final here, too.
Well, they finally let the clock run out, and the Falcons have gone away with a victory here tonight. They win it over Hallsville by the final score of 56-12. The Blair Oaks Falcons now go to 7-1 on the regular season and a 5-0 conference slate, and they'll finish up Tri-County Conference play next week on the last week of the regular season when they go up to Ashland to take on the Southern Boone Eagles. We'll have that ball game for you here on MidmoSportsOnline.com. Once again, the Blair Oaks Falcons defeat the Hallsville Indians by the score of 56-12, and we will be back to take a look at final statistics and wrap things up from the Falcon Athletic Complex after this timeout on MidmoSportsOnline.com.
You cannot choose the things that come into your life, but you can choose the things that you magnify. Magnify Salon of Wardsville wants you to find and magnify your inner beauty. Sarah Linhart and her team's mission is to make every person who walks through their door feel beautiful and feel that they matter. Call or message them today for an appointment at magnifysalon.com. Remember, your hair and beauty matter, but you always matter more. Magnify Salon.
Are you thinking about selling or buying real estate? Here's what you need to know about Mossy Oak Properties. With more than 100 offices in 28 states, Mossy Oak Properties specializes in the outdoor lifestyle with real estate inventory of more than $2.5 billion. Locally, Dwayne Springer combines the power of the Mossy Oak brand with his 30 years of knowledge. Whether it's simply land you're looking at or an existing home, Mossy Oak's brand power and Dwayne's local knowledge of the market is a win-win for you. Give Dwayne a call this week at 573-690-3683 or on the web at mossyoakproperties.com. It's Pizza Domination. In their never-ending quest to make sure you get your slice of the pie, Pizza Haas has opened another new location. Find them now in Jefferson City at 1508 East McCarty. World-famous pizza, wings, hoagies, salads, and more. And, of course, high school sports on the big screens on Friday nights. Meet your friends at Pizza Haas Wardsville, St. Martin's, Westphalia, and now Jefferson City. Pizza Haas, an official gathering spot for Midmo Sports Online. There's a new player in the roofing, gutters, and siding game in mid-Missouri. Skyline Exterior owner Sean Hoslog and the crew at Skyline Exterior are committed to the highest quality work using the highest quality materials. They're also big fans of high school sports, and we wish all the teams in the area good luck during this school year. Remember, if you need roofing, siding, or gutter services, or just want to have your house inspected, you can call, text, or email Sean at Skyline Exterior, 573-536-6319. and at Sean at skyline-exterior.com. Skyline Exterior, proud to sponsor our young athletes on Midmo Sports Online.
Who's the
the fastest growing tow company in mid-Missouri?
Tobin's Towing.
When you need a tow, large or small, a haul, or even a lockout, who are you going to call?
Tobin's Towing.
Who's locally owned, community involved, someone you know and trust?
Tobin's Towing, 573-690-6161.
Who has the best service at the best prices?
Tobin's Towing, 573-690-6161.
Tobin's Towing.
If you or a loved one was injured because of someone else's negligence, call personal injury attorney Tim Van Ronselen. Tim is an aggressive attorney with the experience to know how to get the most for your case. Tim has recovered millions of dollars for his clients. Tim Van Ronselen is a founder of the dynamic new law firm Clement Van Ronselen and Schulte. He's been recognized as one of America's top 100 personal injury attorneys. Remember, if you got hurt, you got a lawyer. Put Tim to work for you. You can reach Tim at 573-691-4800. The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements.
Verslois Construction, a mid-Missouri family-owned construction company. For 45 years, the Verslois name has meant quality construction that stands the test of time. From the Falcon Athletic Complex and Blair Oaks Middle School to the Capital Region Medical Center Amphitheater, Verslois Construction has employed local skilled labor on hundreds of local projects. They're proud to support the families, schools, and students of mid-Missouri. Verslois Construction helps to bring you local high school sports on Midmo Sports Online.
Midmo Sports Online, bringing you the sights and sounds of sports in mid-Missouri, presents the Tobin's Towing Blair Oaks High School Football Game of the Week. The Game of the Week is brought to you by Tobin's Towing of Jefferson City. Need a tow? Call Tobin's at 573-690-6161. This game is also brought to you by Tim Van Ronselen, attorney at law, Chemna Collision Repair, Pizza House of Wardsville, Westphalia, St. Martin, and now Jefferson City, Ready Pop Gourmet Popcorn and Snacks, Farmer Companies, Big Whiskeys, Dwayne Springer with Mossy Oak Properties, and by Brighton Swearingen in England, The Green Button, George Gonzalez, your Edward Jones advisor in Jefferson City, Central Missouri Turf Management Incorporated, Verslois Construction. High school football and Midmo Sports Online is also brought to you by Polk County Eastern District Commissioner Jeff Helsher, A1 Party and Event Rental, Luke Sandbody Bobcat Services, the 109 Group, Kim Kliegel with J. Bloom Jewelry, Lisa Taylor, your Associated Real Estate Group Realtor, Skyline Exterior, and the law offices of Dodson and Waters. And now, Blair Oaks Falcons football on Midmo Sports Online.
With that, Canese take Aldrich back at Wardsville, where the Blair Oaks Falcons have knocked off the Hallsville Indians by the final score of 56-12 here tonight at homecoming at Blair Oaks. Let's take a quick look at the scoring in tonight's ball game. Falcons got the ball second tonight. They started out from their own 10-yard line after Hallsville drove the field on 11 plays, got down to the Blair Oaks 10 but couldn't get any farther, so the Falcons take over and go 90 yards in 5 plays, 1 minute 28 seconds. Brady Dapkus, a 53-yard touchdown run, point after touchdown good. 5:58 to go in the first quarter. Falcons lead it by the score of 7-0. Hallsville then had to punt on their next drive. Brady Dapkus returned the punt 44 yards to the Hallsville 33-yard line, and 2 plays later, the Falcons were back in the end zone. Hayden Lackman, a 7-yard touchdown run, point after touchdown good. 3:44 to go in the first quarter. Falcons led 14-0. Hallsville would get on the scoreboard next. It was a 14-play, 80-yard drive in 5 minutes 53 seconds. They looked good on that drive. Isaac Stinson, a 33-yard touchdown catch from Braden Matheny, the quarterback. 2-point pass was no good. 9:41 to go in the second quarter, and it was 14-6. Blair Oaks with the lead. The Hallsville Indians onside kick every time they kicked the ball, so they onside kicked after the touchdown, and Jackson Engelbrecht picked it up back at the Blair Oaks 45-yard line and came to the near sideline, ran down the sidelines, and scored from 55 yards out. The point after touchdown was good. 9:29 to go in the second quarter. Falcons led by the score of 21-6. Hallsville would turn it over on a fumble the next time they would have it. Falcons would take over at the Hallsville 40-yard line. They would drive 5 plays down to the 10-yard line. of Hallsville before giving the ball over on downs. Hallsville would then punt the ball after a 3-play drive went nowhere. Falcons get it back at their own 39, and this time it was a 7-play, 61-yard drive in 1 minute and 34 seconds. Hayden Lackman capping the drive, a 1-yard touchdown run, 3:33 to go in the second quarter. Falcons led 28-6. Now Hallsville would turn it over on downs the next time they would have it. Falcons would get it back with 24 seconds left in the half. They would throw an interception, and Hallsville had a couple of shots down the field late in the first half, but were not able to get anywhere, and the Falcons went to the halftime up by the score of 28-6. At halftime, Maddie Jones was crowned the homecoming queen for the Blair Oaks Falcons, and she joined homecoming king Jackson Engelbrecht. So to start the second half, the Falcons got the ball first. Following the onside kick, the Falcons had it at their own 49-yard line, make it the Hallsville 49-yard line, and 6 plays, 49 yards, and a minute 22 seconds later, Hayden Lackman, an 18-yard touchdown catch, point after touchdown, good. 10:38 to play in the third quarter. Falcons led 35-6. Hallsville would get it back, 3 plays and punt. The Falcons would take over at their own 42-yard line, and it was a 58-yard drive in 6 plays, 1 minute and 30 seconds. Tyler Bax caps it with an 8-yard touchdown run, point after touchdown, good. 7:53 to go in the third quarter. The Falcons led it by the score of 42-6. Hallsville would come back and get back on the scoreboard. It was an 80-yard drive in 6 plays, 4 minutes and 15 seconds. Isaac Stinson, a 4-yard touchdown catch, caps the drive. 2-point conversion pass, no good. 3:38 to go in the third quarter. Falcons led 42-12. Falcons back on the scoreboard. It was a 4-play, 61-yard drive. The next time they would get it, Brady Dapkus, a 2-yard touchdown catch, point after touchdown, good. 2:38 to play in the third quarter. Falcons led 49-12. Hallsville, 3 plays and punt. The next time they would have it, the Falcons would get it back. A 3-play, 53-yard drive in 1 minute and 26 seconds. Hayden Lackman, a 1-yard touchdown run. Point after touchdown, good. 11:09 to play in the fourth quarter. The Falcons led it by the score of 56-12, and that is pretty much the ball game. Blair Oaks did go down on an 8-play drive and got down close to the goal line. They were lined up for a field goal, but it turned out to be a fake, and on the fake field goal, Nolan Laughlin, the Falcons kicker, threw an interception, and Hallsville basically let the clock run out the last 2 minutes and 40 seconds of the game, and they lose for the 6th time this season. They're now 2-6 on the season as the Falcons win it here tonight by the score of 56-12. Midmo Sports Online continuing coverage of high school football. You're watching the Blair Oaks Falcons Game of the Week, brought to you by Tobin's Towing, and we will return to the Falcon Athletic Complex after this timeout.
Big Whiskies in Jefferson City. It's your game night headquarters. Come join the crowd at Jefferson City's premier gathering spot for sports, food, drinks, and fun. The city's best appetizers, wings, and happy hour. Throw in plenty of seating, HD TVs just about everywhere you look, a staff that's as passionate about good food and service as you are about your team, and game night at Big Whiskies will have you victory dancing well into the weekend. Check them out at bigwhiskies.com. This is Dick Aldrich for Ready Pop Gourmet Popcorn and Snacks. I'm so proud of my friends Luke and Kara Reddy. They've taken an idea born in their basement and turned it into a rapidly growing small business. Their high-quality, locally produced popcorn is popular for fundraisers, weddings, family gatherings, and now available at Hy-Vee stores in Jefferson City, Columbia, Warrensburg, and Thriftway in Lynn. Find out all about Ready Pop Gourmet Popcorn and Snacks at ReadyPop.com or on their Facebook page or at their store at 631 West McCarty. That's Ready Pop Gourmet Popcorn and Snacks.
Bryden, Swearingen, and England, serving Jefferson City for almost 50 years, handling cases from the Missouri Supreme Court to the county courthouse. Known throughout the country as one of the top law firms in Missouri's state capital, Bryden, Swearingen, and England is still a small-town law firm that has the people and the knowledge to help the area's small businesses and families in need. Our experienced attorneys can handle a wide spectrum of legal needs, from family and divorce law to estate planning to criminal matters to many aspects of state licensing and regulation. Bryden, Swearingen, and England. Contact them today at brydenlaw.com.
Beautiful lawns in Jefferson City, Columbia, and the Lake of the Ozarks. Brought to you by Central Missouri Turf Management. Painstaking professionals, the finest quality products for residential and commercial properties, locally owned, family operated. Call Central Missouri Turf Management for a free estimate at 573-634-2231 or online at cmtmi.com.
I know a place where beautiful lawns begin. Central Missouri Turf.
It's not just experience and reputation that sets Dodson and Waters apart, but also their knowledge of the local legal system. They go the extra mile with every case because they know it's your future at stake. Maybe you need help navigating the systems of life, either buying a home or starting a business. Or it could be that you're in a difficult situation and need someone to fight for you. Wherever life takes you, know that you can count on Dodson and Waters for expert guidance and support. At Dodson and Waters, they say, your case, your future, our fight. Set up a free consultation today at dodsonwaters.com.
The Farmer Companies of Jefferson City. Over more than 80 years, Farmer has become a leader in building materials, logistics, and real estate worlds. These young athletes in tonight's game know that to become the best takes time, dedication, and a tireless work ethic. The values we share make Farmer Company family-owned, forward-thinking leader. Come check us out online at farmercompanies.com. Farmer Companies of Jefferson City. Come grow with us.
Homecoming here in Wardsville. Falcons win it tonight by the score of 56-12, and kind of a weird game, frankly, and the Falcons go away a winner. There's just all kinds of stuff going on down at the end of that ball game, and basically Hallsville just refused to snap it for the last 2.5 minutes of the ball game and went away a loser tonight by the score of 56-12. Let's give you some scores while Ed finishes up the statistics. Taking a look in the Tri-County Conference tonight, it was School of the Osage over Southern Boone, 45-7. We're on our way to Ashland next week for the last regular season game of the season. The California Pintos beat Eldon tonight by the score of 33-26. Fifth straight loss for Eldon now. Booneville over Versailles by the score of 61-0. Other scores, Helias dominates Sedalia Smith Cotton tonight, 58-0. It was battle over Jefferson City in a crucial game for both those teams as they are jockeying for position in the district battle in their own Class 6 district. Jefferson City in the Class 5 district. They had a chance to maybe even eke out a home game in the districts had they won tonight, but they are not going to get that done tonight. They lose it to Battle by the score of 33-13. Capital City does take second place in the district, in the Class 5 district, as they defeat Camdenton tonight on the road by the score of 28-14. That's a big win there for Joe Collier and his Cavaliers. Rockbridge over Hickman tonight, 58-7. It was Harrisburg downing Fayette, 46-14. North Callaway over Vanfar, 42-22. Tipton over Russellville, 60-0. And St. Francis Borgia goes on the road and beats Vianney tonight by the score of 28-23. Once again, the homecoming queen here in Wardsville was Maddie Jones, and the homecoming king was Jackson Engelbrecht. And once again, we want to say thank you to everyone out here at Wardsville and Blair Oaks, as Ed and I had the opportunity to become the grand marshals of the homecoming parade, and we had a great time doing that this afternoon here in Wardsville at the Blair Oaks school as we traveled around the school parking lots here, and it's an interesting affair here at every homecoming for Blair Oaks. They have a short little parade route that goes around to all the schools. We get to see all the students and all the parents, and it was great to see everybody. And again, we want to thank our Blair Oaks family for doing that for us. It was something that I never thought that we would be doing, but it was something that we had a great time doing, Ed and I, as grand marshals of the Blair Oaks homecoming parade in 2024. Next week, as I said, the Blair Oaks Falcons will be on the road. They'll be taking on the Southern Boone Eagles, another team that likes to get the ball in the air early and often. And we will have that ball game for you. We'll start with a pregame show at 6:30. Don't forget the Saturday scoreboard. That comes your way in the evening here on MidmoSportsOnline.com. Don't forget to go to our webpage to find it. And you can also find it on our Facebook page and on our Twitter page. We'll have that for you up and running sometime early morning on Saturday. So when you get up, you can catch up on all the scores. We'll have live reports from our people across mid-Missouri. We'll hear from Brad Trinago from Jefferson City, and we'll also hear from Tyler Madsen down at the lake at Camdenton with the Capital City Cavaliers. Let's take a look at our statistics from tonight's ball game, and here's Ed Kniest. Ed?
Yeah, when you attempt 58 passes in a game, it takes a while to add up the stats. Okay, so taking a look at the Hallsville Indians, they had 11 first downs in the first half. They only picked up 1 in the second half, so they end up the game with 12. Braden Matheny, the quarterback, 32 out of 58 passing for 306 yards, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions. He was sacked twice. He completed 55.2% of his passes. Those passes went, 5 went to Aiden Zadrowski for 16 yards, an average of 3.2 per catch, no touchdowns. His longest was 7. Gabe Jenkins caught 8 for 35, an average of 4.4 per catch, no touchdowns. His longest was 7. Dalvin Smith caught 8 for 132 yards. He had the most receiving yards tonight for the for the Indians, and 132 yards and 8 catches. That's a 16.5 average per catch, no touchdowns. His longest was that wild 84-yard reception. It was off of the tip ball. And Isaac Stinson, the number 1 receiver, well, he caught 9 passes for 117 yards. That's a 13-yard per catch average. He had 2 touchdowns. His longest was 45 yards. 306 yards on 32 receptions. That's an average of 9.6 per catch. 2 touchdowns both by Stinson and Dalvin Smith with an 84-yard reception, the longest catch of the night for the Indians. Running the football, well, they didn't do much, but Braden Matheny rushed 7 times for 27 yards, an average of 3.9 per carry. No touchdowns. His longest run was 15. Wyatt Morris rushed 4 times for negative 3 yards. That's a negative 0.8 yard per carry average. No touchdowns. His longest run, 0 yards. 24 yards rushing on 11 carries. That's an average of 2.2 per carry. No touchdowns. And Matheny with the longest run of 15 yards. Hallsville had 24 yards rushing in the first half and 207 passing in the first half for 231. They picked up 0 yards rushing in the second half, and they had only 99 yards passing in the second half. So with 24 on the ground and 306 in the air, they end up with 330 yards of total offense for the night. Turning to the Blair Oaks Falcons, they had 7 first downs in the first half, 9 in the second half, for a total of 16 in the game. Tyler Bax, 13 of 16 passing for 167 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception, no sacks, 81.3% pass completion. Hudson Meldrum threw 2 passes and completed them both for 100% completion rate, and they went for 18 yards. No touchdowns, interceptions, or sacks for Hudson. Nolan Laughlin threw 1 pass, and it was intercepted, so a 0% completion rate for Nolan. The Falcon throwing the ball tonight were 15 out of 20 for 185 yards, 2 touchdowns, both by Bax, 2 interceptions, 1 by Bax, 1 by Laughlin, no sacks, and they complete 75% of their passes. Catching those balls tonight, Jackson Engelbrecht caught 2 for 21 yards, an average of 10.5 yards per catch, no touchdowns, and the longest for the homecoming king was 12 yards. Jet Currett caught 4 for 44 yards. He was the leading receiver tonight for the Falcons as far as number of catches. 4 for 44 yards, 11 yards per catch, no touchdowns. His longest was 14. Brady Dapkus caught 3 passes for 57 yards, an average of 19 yards per catch, 1 touchdown. His longest reception, 27 yards. Hayden Lackman caught 2 for 27 yards, an average of 13.5 yards per catch, 1 touchdown. His longest reception was 18 yards. Vander Halford back in the game as a receiver tonight, caught 3 passes for 33 yards. That's an 11 yard per catch average, no touchdowns, and Vander's longest reception, 15 yards. 185 yards on 15 receptions. That's an average of 12.3 yards per catch. 2 touchdowns receiving, 1 by Dapkus, 1 by Lackman, and Dapkus with a 27-yarder, the longest reception of the night for Blair Oaks. Running the football, Tyler Bax had 136 yards rushing on 10 attempts. That's an average of 13.6 per carry, 1 touchdown, his longest run 37 yards. Hayden Lackman, 25 yards on 8 rushing attempts at an average of 3.1 per carry. He had 3 rushing touchdowns, his longest run 7 yards. And Brady Dapkus picked up 78 yards on 5 rushing attempts, an average of 15.6 per carry, 1 touchdown. But it was a beauty, a 53-yard run. First time he touched the ball tonight for that first touchdown by the Falcons. Falcons had 256 yards rushing on 27 rushing attempts, an average of 9.5 per carry, 5 rushing touchdowns, 3 by Lackman, 1 each by Bax and Dapkus with a 53-yarder, the longest run from scrimmage tonight. Falcons had 139 yards on the ground and 56 in the air in the first half for 195 yards total offense at halftime. They picked up another 117 in the second half on the ground and a 129 in the air in the second half for 246 total in the second half. So they had 256 total yards on the ground tonight and 185 for the game through the air, and that comes out to 441 yards total offense for the Blair Oaks Falcons tonight.
So it wasn't a complete defensive wipeout like we're used to seeing, but the Falcons do come away with a very easy 56-12 win. A few other scores we have in here tonight. Hannibal over Marshall 57-14. Kirksville downs Fulton by the score of 42-0. Number 3 in Class 3, Dexter over Park Hill Central tonight by the score of 35-12. Number 2 in Class 3, Seneca over East Newton by the score of 63-21. Elsewhere in Class 3 football, Maryville falls to Savannah 42-14. And in a district score, Knob Noster downs Richmond by the score of 10-6. So that will do it here tonight from the Falcon Athletic Complex in Wardsville. Next week, we'll greet you from Ashland and Southern Boone High School as the Falcons take on the Southern Boone Eagles. That'll be a 6:30 game here on MidmoSportsOnline.com. Don't forget Saturday scoreboard tomorrow morning. And also don't forget throughout next week, we'll have our podcasts with the 4 area coaches as the season winds down. Hard to believe it's the last week of the regular season next week. And we'll have 4 games actually for you on MidmoSportsOnline.com throughout the week. And we will also tell you about all those as we go on throughout the week. So once again, the final score, the Blair Oaks Falcons 56 and the Hallsville Indians 12. And for now, from Wardsville, for Ed Kniest, I'm Dick Aldrich, and we say good night from Wardsville.